Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Knights of Last Call, and more importantly, welcome to the third age of Eriador in the year 2965. We find ourselves in Hobbiton, well, or at least right across the water in Bywater at the Inn of the Green Dragon, with the to-be-named company of heroes who have returned for yet more adventures in the One Ring. Welcome and good morning or good evening, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Morning.
And welcome, chat, all 7 of you or whatever that are watching. And of course, people who watch on the pod. You know, these have done better than I thought. You know, I mean, they are basically neck and neck with like the Root actual play, which is, which considering that the Root actual play, had, three of the 4 Knights of Last Call in it. Took place in a completely built-out studio with 5 separate studio cameras in a completely decorated set, live in person. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. So it either says something about Root or it says something about the One Ring, or perhaps Lord of the Rings. Anyways.
No, it's us.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody likes us more.
Clearly.
That is also a distinct possibility. No, you guys
Should we pursue the cat marquee?
That's right. Oh, that thing took so many unexpected turns. What a fun action. Talk about playing to find out, Never thought we were going to end up in that direction.
They're just blowing everything up.
Yes, correct. Well, it's always nice when you have that one player who just pushes the button every time, right? right, Gull?
No, I think it derails everything. I prefer players to get in line, play it straight, follow the GM story properly.
Yeah, that's correct. So good morning to you all, and good morning to chat. So we have a couple of housekeeping items just to make sure that we're kind of wrapped up about. But just sort of as a reminder, if you're joining us perhaps freshly and new, I'm going to click around the map here a little bit. So our company actually began in the town of Bree, with having several interactions and journeys with each other throughout the previous years. But finally, we're drawn together, all together, under the auspices of Gandalf the Grey, who began by sending them on a missive to the Vale of Morgland, an ancient Arnorian fortress, now ruined, inhabited by trolls, and the cache of the site of a cache of wondrous items and marvelous artifacts from forgotten years. Of course, the fact that the trolls were also raiding the Great East Road was of small concern as well. And of course, Gandalf, ever the meddler, had his means and motives. While there, the group recovered several ancient artifacts, including several elven relics, which were taken by the Din Gwynnir, elves of Noldorian descent. The group counseled with them and made an arrangement with them to return the elven relics. In exchange, the group was managed to recover several relics of Arnor's past. One, the great black ram horn of Amon Forod, the northern watchtower, and Aruzagar, the king's sword. So we have Aruzagar, the king's blade. Sorry, Aruzagar, the king's blade, and we have here Aruzagar, the king's blade. A long sword of old Westerness, dark with age, but bright along its edge. Its grip is wrapped in black leather, worn almost gray, and its pommel is shaped like a 7-pointed star. This was the great sword of the King Argaleb II of Arthedain, who wielded it against the forces of Angmar during the twilight of the Northern Kingdom. And the group, successful, returned their ponies and horses laden with silver and some gold. They passed through Bree and headed up to Hobbiton, where Gandalf had told them previously that they could meet with, they could find safe lodgings and shelter there, and to then eventually meet with Bilbo Baggins, which is where we will eventually pick up our story. So a couple of things for my players, just as a little bit of a side note. As if we were going to be playing this campaign for the next 3 years. You will notice I have added some new icons to the map. These icons here represent where you have safe havens. So these are places that you can return to during a fellowship phase and, be able to easily and restfully spend several weeks, if not the majority of a season, in recovery. So Hobbiton and Bree are currently your two safe havens, and of course you guys have been staying in Hobbiton and or in Bywater at the Green Dragon Inn, which is just right across the river there, for the last several weeks, which brings us to the very end of spring. It's the very almost the beginning of summer. After spending several weeks in Hobbiton recovering from your trials and travails, you have recovered some hope. You have worn off some shadow. Your hurts have been mended, your endurance restored, and you've spent that time accumulating mostly, I believe, great wisdom. So as a reminder to folks at home, why don't you all go ahead and give us a sort of synopsis or loadout of where your character currently stands in terms of their health and moral fitness, and then also what you took with your adventure points and skill points as part of your level up. And we'll go ahead and start with Alfred. Actually, we'll start with Isengard because he's the left on your screen. So we'll start with Isengard, the halfling warden.
All right. So yeah, I did a couple of things. One is I traded in some of my gear for a civility brief to help me, understand a bit more about the peoples of Middle Earth, so I can be a little bit more courteous than I was with the elves of the good Isle of Morgland. And then I also I bumped up my wisdom because although I myself gulled a cat, I'm a fucking idiot. Isengard is actually quite a wise chap. Quite savvy it is. And that gave me another virtue. I took sure at the mark because I'm really good at ranged, except for the fact that I constantly shit the bed with the D12 roll. So now my D12 rolls are favored. All ranged attacks. And also, I can kick the shit out of people with stones now, with a mighty talent. And then, accessory to that, I bumped my scan up to help me do some more crit fishing.
Awesome. Very cool.
Like an absolute munchkin.
And we can also see here that Isengard is almost at max hope, but not quite. But does have 3 points of shadow, still recovering, still after the sort of the shenanigans of the last adventure. Great.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's mulled over a bit about what he could have done better and what he could have done smarter in the last adventure.
All right, next is Otar, son of Ragnar.
Yes, I also bumped up my wisdom to 2 and can now finally understand my raven and can talk to birds. Mechanically,
yeah, that's not just a colloquialism. That's really an ability that the Northmen get.
Yes. And it helps me once each journey, council, and combat. I can. What is it called again? When I use hope, I can get 2 dice instead of 1. Inspired. Yeah.
In addition, it is true in the fiction that you can now, talk to birds. Yeah. Not just your bird, but
every bird.
Every bird in general, yes. But yeah. All right.
I also increased my athletics and got a solid rope.
Nice. Cool. And you are currently sitting at 12 of 16 hope, and you also have 3 points of shadow. Isengar's was more from being a little bit half, hobbitish and mischievous, and Otar's came from a little bit more from sort of the weight of, I don't want to say the weight of failure, but the grappling with some self-doubts as he goes through that. All right, next is Adraniel. What did Adraniel take? What's she up to?
As she passed through Bree, she traded in on her reputation and requested a horse or a pony, I guess it might be. Sarah, the pony.
Nice.
And then when she got to Hobbiton, she spent the time relaxing and ended up doing fairly well on both my endurance and my hope. Just a little bit low, just missing 1 hope, but full endurance. That feels good.
Yep.
The second benefit of increasing my prosperity was that I get a second useful item. And while in the Shire, I befriended an old gardener of Gamgee surname, and he gave me a bag of herbs, which I'll use to increase my travel.
Nice. Awesome.
I've saved my experience points.
Got it. Okay. I saw that you did not increase your wisdom or virtue, so you've saved your adventure points and your skill points. Okay, great, cool. And yeah, so you're only down 1 point of hope, and you have 0 shadow. Draeniel's soul is pure as the fallen snow. All right, Alfred, were you so lucky? Let's see. Alfred, what did we end up taking for Alfred? I see another wisdom. I see another wisdom increase.
Yes. So I was debating between the Bremen virtues are pretty sweet, but I landed on the art of smoking, which is you have mastered the art of smoking pipeweed, and you always carry your pipe with you, as well as a bag of tobacco. For using it grants you patience and clarity of mind. Whenever you regain 1 or more points of hope, you recover 1 additional hope point, regardless of whether it's the adventuring or fellowship phase.
Awesome. Yeah, so the main ways that you're going to regain hope, obviously, is during a fellowship phase and also during a sort of rest phase where the group chooses to spend fellowship to restore your hope. So as long as you have access to and time to pack a pipe, you will be able to regain that. And of course, Alfred is maxed out on hope. 0 shadow, a true connoisseur.
Yes, and in the spirit of that, I swapped out an equipment from my waterproof coat to herb to share, which is a persuade useful item.
Got it.
Oh, cool. I would say it's interesting that you get that extra hope because I think the Men of Bree are the one who give us a fellowship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's essentially what your perk is doing. It's like it's making our fellowship when spent on you more efficient. So it's interesting how much your race plays into that.
Yeah, I mean the Men of Bree are definitely sort of kind of like the
glue.
Yeah, the glue. That's right. That holds everybody together. They kind of just get along with everybody. They're actually one of the few multicultural locations in Middle Earth. Really, honestly, you have dwarves, hobbits, and men all living in the town. So yeah, kind of makes sense. All right, and last we have Grom, son of Grim, son of Grum, the dwarf from the Blue Mountains, or at least of Durin's folk.
Yep, I raised my wisdom, so hopefully maybe I can pass some greed rolls now.
In character, maybe.
But yeah, in character maybe. But with that, I picked up Barok Kazad, which allows me once per combat in forward stance, I can intimidate and attack in the same round, and the attack is favored.
Yeah, wow, that's great.
And then I took the horn that we got too.
Yes.
Which gives a bonus to all rolls. So,
to all awe rolls, yes.
yeah.
And you have your beard jewelry as well. Just really face maxing very much with the horn and the beard.
And then I spent some skill points on upping my awareness to 1.
Okay, great. Also,
missing two hope.
I believe your adventure points should probably be a little lower, right? Maybe, I don't know.
I was putting in what I spent.
Oh,
is it
okay. I would assume it's the other way, but yes.
Okay,
but
I'll do it the other way.
Yeah. That makes more sense. Okay, great. Yeah. So I'm actually going to delete your ram horn. I'm on 4 road because I just added some art to it, and I'll put it back onto your sheet. Yes, you are wielding or the possessor of the ram horn of Amon Forod, the great war horn of the northern watchtower of Arnor, or at least of Arthedain. So as a reminder to everybody, including you all, this is a marvelous item, and that means that it has a blessing. So in addition to giving you 2 dice on awe rolls, and again, just like with anything, the equipment has to make some degree of sense. You don't it's not just a flat mechanical bonus. It has to be something where, you using a big warn horn would make sense. think Boromir. Yeah. I don't know if Boromir pulling out the horn at the Council of Elrond would have had quite the same effect. But maybe it would have. I don't know. Yeah. But more importantly, you also now have the ability, you may achieve a magical success. And that means before you are asked to make an awe roll, you can instead spend a hope, and you will get an automatic Gandalf rune. And not just a Gandalf rune, it will be essentially, you can achieve more than you could normally achieve with any sort of mortal success. However, be aware that overt displays of magical power can and will draw the attention of Eye Mordor. And you will still roll your d6s, because you still may, a success is just a base level success. You still may want to roll those additional d6s because you want to get those Tengwar runes on the 6 so that you can increase or upgrade your effect. All right. And then we have a Rúzgar. Now, a Rúzgar is a long sword, again, the King's Blade. And it is Númenorian, and so it is a foe-slaying weapon. Now, as a magical weapon, it may or does possess potentially other qualities. However, those qualities are unknown to you until you either invest into it, or if you spend a Yule phase, that's like Christmas time, with a noted lore master, and they are able to determine what qualities it has. However, the base quality is automatically unlocked. The rest can only be unlocked with your valor. In this case, it is a foe-slaying blade. So if you score a piercing blow, which means you rolled a 10 or a Gandalf rune, on a Bane creature, and as this weapon was forged to fight the foes of Angmar, or the foes of Arthedain from Angmar, it is baned evil men and undead. That protection roll that they make in order to avoid taking a wound is ill-favored. And if for whatever reason that roll would already be ill-favored, it instead automatically wounds them. So they basically get disadvantaged. And I believe that is going to Otar. Yes?
Mm-hmm. Yes, all right, I think so.
Yeah. Now, Otar, I'm actually going to give you 2 of these. So make sure that you mark one of them dropped, basically, because the Foundry module doesn't have like a way to swap between handedness. So there's like a one-handed version and a two-handed version. Obviously, you can only have one at a time. Now, that being said, you will have to have at least one of them not dropped, which means currently your load is higher. So you may want to either get rid of your sword or your old sword or whatever. But
could you make the two-handed one weight 0, and then you can just keep them both?
I probably could, and you are a very smart person.
Yeah, that's what I did with my axe.
All right, well done. Look at the foundry. Look at the foundry hacks coming in clutch.
We've done it.
All right, we've done it. All right, never mind. We're good there. Obviously, keep in mind the Otar that you can, if you have a Rúzgar equipped, you can have in a two-handed version at least. You can't have like a shield equipped or whatever like that. So, but let me know what you decide to do with your other sword. I don't know if you want to keep it for sentimental reasons or.
I think I'm kind of a little bit afraid of. What is it called?
A Rúzgar, although because it is a weird name, I also gave it another name, which is Cold Warden, which is
okay.
Among the men of Westerness, the blade was called a Rúzgar, the King's Blade. Though in later years, the Rangers gave it another name, Cold Warden. It was not a sword made for tourney or courtly display, but for grim necessity and purpose, to hew down the servants of the shadow, traitors among men, and the restless dead called forth by the witch realm and its foul witch king.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Pretty rad name.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's swing it at somebody. God damn.
Yeah. And to continue to what you call it, golf face max. The sword is cold to the touch, even beside a warm hearth. And when drawn in the presence of ancient evil, a pale sheen gathers along its edge like frost beneath moonlight. And those of royal blood, or those sworn to defend the free people, feel the weight of old oaths upon their hands. So there we go.
That's wicked.
All right.
Yeah, so Cold Warden, I think I will have both swords at the moment because I'm not sure if I'm worthy enough to use it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be like Aragorn when he carried around the shards of Narsil and his blade before it got reforged in the book. They don't do that in the movie, but they do that in the book.
Isn't this sword basically Aragorn's sword too? Isn't he like the king of the?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, this was.
Yeah.
I mean, there were many such blades. I mean, this blade would have been forged long after Narsil was actually shattered and broken. So I mean,
Okay.
but the Narsil was the sword of Elendil, and then it broke beneath him while fighting Sauron. Contrary to the movie's popular beliefs, by the way, I want to put some respect on Elendil's name. So the movie. No, what happened? What happened was Elendil, okay, the High King of Numenor, of Gondor and Arnor, and Gil-galad, who was the High King of the Noldor.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. They fought Sauron and killed him. Okay, he was dead. And Isildur came across the basically, you could argue, dead or mortally wounded or stricken form of Sauron. Now, his father was dead, and Gil-galad, the last king, High King of the Noldor, was dead, but so was Sauron. And his father's sword was shattered. And Isildur took up the hilt shard, and cut off the ring as as weregilt, basically as like the price for his slain father. He basically said, "I am claiming this as like as basically as my recompense for my father's death." It did not happen like it was in the movie. So actually, Sauron got beaten not through some tricky McTrixerson, and then like, why would he reach out with the hand with the ring? It didn't really make a whole lot of sense. But no, he was actually slain, and then the shards were taken to eventually to Rivendell. Anyways, yes. So it is a blade. It is a blade of the King of Men, but it's not the blade of the King of Men. Those are still technically in Rivendell or with Aragorn, depending if we go with the book or the movie canon. Although Aragorn is really young at this point and might not even know his true identity yet. So yeah, I don't know. Well, my token knowledge does have its limits. Let's just
go find him.
Let's just say Aragorn is still a young man. I don't think his father is alive, though. I think his father actually probably just recently died. Anyways, okay, enough of that. So let's go back to some other things. You guys took a fellowship phase, so you got to take 2 undertakings, one of any sort, one for free. One of the choices that you made was to meet with a patron. In this case, Bilbo Baggins, now a patron of the group. So I will add Bilbo to your list of patrons. Boop. Can I upgrade him to a patron? Yes, I think I can. Yes. Okay, he is now Hobbiton. All right. Bilbo Baggins is now one of your patrons. What is the other undertaking that you wished to take?
All you go.
Were we going to do a song, or do you want to do the magic item?
It would be a shame to waste your written song.
Well, fuck. I didn't get. I've got a wandering song. I got a walking song. But do we want a combat song?
I think.
All right. Well,
walking song
before
sounds
you
fine.
make your choice, now I'm taking some liberties here, but I really want to explore the system. So just before you make this decision, I'm kind of giving you a meta sneak peek. So the first time we played the adventure, you guys started in Bree. And then, boop, 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 you travel to the Vale of Morglen. Bilbo is sending you here.
Yo, what the?
Travel song sounds good.
This is a multiple journey thing. Like, what the
No,
heck?
it's just at the limit of what the game allows.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? You son of a bitch.
Well, luckily, you guys are in Hobbiton, which is basically, in the Shire, obviously, which is basically smack dab in the middle of Eriador. So you guys are kind of equidistant to anywhere. It's kind of ideal and perfect.
I should have taken the pony, damn it.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, so that may, in fact, that may alter your decision. We'll see. So Gull, you're going to take, you're going to do songs, learned songs, or whatever it was called.
Write a song.
Write a song.
We want a walking song.
Yes, a walking song. Now, as a reminder to everybody, what this allows you to do is for starters, it's everybody's song. It's not just his song. Everybody gets a song. But whenever the company is involved in a council, a combat, or a journey, the player heroes may sing a song to rouse themselves and pursue their goals with a renewed sense of purpose. To do so, first choose a song from among those on the company's song list that is appropriate to the current juncture. Obviously, a walking song is for journeys. Then make a song roll. Okay, heroes who succeed in the roll get the benefit of ignoring weary. Okay, so you all make the song roll.
Do we share sixes?
What's that?
Do we share sixes?
Yes. So it's a group roll. So if you get Tengwar runes, you can use that to cancel out the failure of another player. Absolutely. And you will be then ignore it for the length of that heroic venture. Most importantly, in combat too, this is only a secondary action, so you can still, attack or do whatever else you're going to do. Each song can only be used once per adventuring phase. So if a second journey or a second combat or a second council were to come up, you would actually need a second song. Apparently, it only hits once. Otherwise, it just gets played out real quick. Okay, great. So
Just Bilbo going over the
So you
all the glitters is not gold like 6 times. Everyone's like, yeah, we get it. Okay, Bilbo. Thanks.
So you could theoretically, like, if we had 2 separate combats, we could make 2 different combat songs.
Yes, you would need.
Okay.
You would need 2 separate combat songs. You would have the it's busy work killing goblin song, but then you would have the oh shit boys let's go song, right? You'd have 2 different songs. But yes, so you are going to write a walking song, and this will be added to the company's list of songs. You are, of course, encouraged to come up with a song title and lyrics, taking inspiration.
I got it.
All right.
Might it be a riding song instead?
Well, to be fair, some of you have ponies, so you don't necessarily ride the ponies. You just use them to carry your gear and stuff.
Oh God.
So, I mean, in a long time frame, horses really aren't that much. They're not good at walking long distances in that respect, or at least at speed. So, anyways, all right. Well, great. So that is going to then start us off here in Hobbiton, where you have been resting for the last several weeks. And finally, the day comes when Bilbo Baggins informally invites you to tea at his house under the hill at Bag End. And, of course, we all know that there, among carefully tended gardens, a large green round door, like a porthole, with a brass knob in the center, all the tropes and the accoutrements. And you find yourself standing on the threshold of Bag End. Having freshly knocked, the door is open, and there sits Bilbo, or there stands, I should say, Bilbo Baggins, jolly as he is. There we go. This is the artwork courtesy of Free League. And there he stands in his waistcoat and breeches, furry feet pointed outward, and he says, "Goodness blesses me! Welcome to Bag End. Please, I've just put the kettle on. If you'll come into my drawing room, let us sit and have a conversation. I'm so honored to meet you." Offers you entry into his home.
Yes. This is diegetically where Alfred's art of smoking levels up. He pulls out some pipe weed in his pipe, and,
yes. And he goes, "Oh, no, none of that. I've got a fresh cask of Longbottom I've just opened up this morning." He's like, "Don't worry, you can have a fill of mine. The rest of you, please, help yourselves. I've put out some cake, some seed cake, if you don't mind it, and I'll be in freshly with the kettle. Anything else? Anything else I could get you?"
So I gotta know, do I see a ring anywhere?
Oh, no, of course not.
Okay.
In fact, you don't even see a hobbit.
Right. Hey. No such rings. So Bilbo invites you in, sets you down, and as a matter of fact, pours you the tea, and then kind of sits up and he hooks his thumbs behind his breeches or behind his braces, and he says, "Well, I won't waste any of your time, and I'll get right down to it. I'm honored to have you here, and Gandalf has spoken quite fondly of all of you, and for that matter, he has entrusted me with some small matters, and I therefore will be entrusting you with some large ones. Now, before we get started, you must know I'm no wizard. No great adventures from me. No slaying of trolls or orcs or going on crazy adventures over the wild. No. I'm a man of people, and you see, and I've made it my business to stay informed of the comings and goings around this place. And your presence here affords me a very unique opportunity, and I might say it is an honor always to host a Proudfoot here in the house, especially one from the East Farthing. I must admit I don't get out there quite as often as I would like, but Isengard, your family, they are good people, and I'm honored to have you here.
Oh, many thanks, Mr. Baggins. Pleasure and honor to be here. Similarly, I don't make my way out west very often, so it's lovely to be central.
Yes. Well, you know, it is those of us here that I would think our neighbors and family would consider quite queer, leaving the Shire, being concerned about the comings and goings of dwarves and elves. It's altogether improper for a hobbit. Still, there is a wider world out there that, whether they like to admit it or not, is going to affect them one way or the other. And that is where Alfred and Isengard and the rest of you come into focus. Now, some of you, Isengard and Alfred, may not have spoken of this, but several years ago, there was a moot held in Bree. There is a small village. Hesitate to call it a town, really. Once it was a great city of men. Down on the where the Grey Flood meets Belagar, the great ocean, lies the town of Londar. Now, this actually was once a thriving Númenórean port town. It's in fact where the Númenóreans first landed here in Middle-earth before their great kingdom sank beneath the waves. And it is from here that they launched their great colonization efforts into Middle-earth. But as with all things, with the changing of the world and the sinking of their great civilization, Londar has fallen into ruin and despite. Nonetheless, several years ago, perhaps a decade or so, maybe 5 years, an adventurer, a local hero by the name of Nimue, came to town and slew a mighty sea serpent, which had been harassing the fishing fleets for some time. The people acclaimed her and raised her to the status of queen. And suddenly Londar was literally back on the map. And so a moot was held in Bree to decide what should become of this new town. I, somewhat persuasively, arranged for it to happen in the hopes that we could have another point of light in the darkness of Eriador. And I encouraged Nimue and her council, the dwarves of the Blue Mountains, to forge relationships and to make peace with one another, to establish routes of trade. Unfortunately, and some of this information comes to me from Alfred and Isengard via Gandalf, there were strange things afoot at that moot. You see, at that time, corsairs have been raiding the coast and continue to do so to this day. The dwarves blamed the people of the south, and the councilmen of the queen, newly raised up, seemed a bit, eager to keep Londar isolated. They said that they had troubles of their own without the dealings of dwarves and elves, that they needed to see to their own. And so, unfortunately, the moot failed. I obviously was quite disappointed by this. However, Gandalf informed me that Isengard and Alfred had some suspicions from that moot. And if you don't mind, if you'd like to share them with me now, I would greatly appreciate it.
I remember. Alfred, do you remember as well? I got it written down.
I'm muted. 1 second. Let Alfred. Yes, I have it in my notes here someplace. 1 second.
whips out the
moment,
Encyclopedia
please.
Britannica.
I remember if you don't. It's okay.
I got it as well. I just thought it makes more sense for Alfred to spin it out.
I believe there were raiders, and they thought that they were the, I think, heirs to the Cardollan.
Well, that was kind of like a later suspicion, but more specifically,
Pirates.
you thought that there was like a pattern to their raids, that they
yes.
weren't just random pirates doing pirate shit, like that there was a plan, right? And there was something going on. And that there may have been a political motivation, that certain documents went missing during the moot, and that somebody may have been trying to keep Londar from forging that alliance. And Bilbo says, yes, as I suspected. You see, I'm rather fond of maps, and I've been looking over the information that has been sort of presented, and I agree with your findings. I have been doing a lot of work the last year or so. I've been working with Halder Ironfoot, the dwarven trader, trying to track down where these raids have been occurring. And I believe, after a recent ledger came into my possession, that I may have found just the spot. I have, I believe, located a ancient, there we go, an ancient Arnorian location, or ancient Numenorian location, long since abandoned, on a unused and dangerous coast along southwestern Eriador. The Numenorians had a name for it. However, apparently, the pirates and the raiders call it Blackwater Cove, a place where the cliffs are so tight and narrow that even the sun does not reach the water's surface, perfect for hiding, say, a fleet of corsair ships. However, it is also crouched in the very shadow of Eren Vorn, that haunted and cursed woods that all fear to enter. Now, to be clear, what I am about to ask you is a great journey. However, I am a man of considerable means. I shall make do as I can to help you in your journey and prepare, and I have a large bag of silver for you to make a recompense for your journey. But I would see Londar and the dwarves and the men of Bree all in alliance with each other. I believe in Queen Nimue. You, Alfred and Isengard, have met her, and your company. What did you call yourselves again? Okay, so I know there was some conversation about what you guys should call your company. Currently, the game calls you the company. I know Solpak throughout the Grey Company, technically copywritten by Aragorn and his crew.
He actually said the Great Company, just in pun form.
Oh, okay, yes. I didn't know if that T was a.
Oh no, intentional. I would never impose on someone's trademark like that.
Got it right, trademark right. You know, Sauron might not get you, but the copyright attorneys might.
Yeah.
So yes. Anyways, so Bilbo wants to know, what should your company be called, or do you not have a name yet? Are you still waiting for one?
I want to keep up tradition and think of some sort of bullshit KRLC name.
Fair enough.
I mean, I liked all of the suggestions.
Yeah, I like the Fellowship of the Last Call.
That was a good one. That one's
All
my
right.
favorite so far.
The Fellowship of Last Call, or the Last Call?
The last fellowship, little did they know.
All right, we'll be the Fellowship of Last Call. All right. Yes, of course. Drinking. So the Fellowship of Last Call has already begun to make a name for themselves. Here is what I would ask for you to do. Now, before you get worried, well, I have good news and then bad news. Good news is I don't expect you to take on a fleet of corsairs. However, what I would ask that you do is travel to this Blackwater Cove to see if it exists, and if it does, see if you can find some concrete evidence beyond our suspicions and half-truths that point to the fact that some force was at work trying to drive Londar apart from the dwarves. And then to take that evidence, so that's the good news. I don't want you to fight the Corsairs. The bad news is it is a journey of almost a month. And you will be crossing over Minhiriath, a mostly deserted, endless land full of rolling grasslands and little to no people. And then, after you complete that, I would ask that you travel to Londar. Use that evidence to support Queen Nimue and get her and her council to agree to attend a second moot where we can try to bring these people together. I believe that the dwarves of the Blue Mountains, that the men of Bree, that the hobbits of the Shire, and that the folk and people of Londar should be united together against the forces that are coming. But also, my friends, I do believe in Isengard and Alfred's suspicions. There is some dark force here at work. And I think I speak for all of us when I say I don't think Gandalf would have put me on to this if he didn't think that there was some greater force at work behind the scenes here.
As I recall, Mr. Baggins, and Alfred can confirm, concur or contradict me, but we had suspicions and found some indications that it seemed like there were folks pulling off sort of maps and charts and funneling them through to the Corsairs, looking into like old Numenorian ruins and such. I can't remember if we identified who. I know in the like backstory card there was like we learned that at least one respected house of the West Coast was doing it, but I can't remember if we actually like got it.
I'm kind of leaving that more like open to interpretation. I do think that there's this idea that like your the sort of the notes that you put together and Bilbo kind of like is like, that is very interesting indeed. If the Corsairs are doing, if they're doing more than just keeping people apart, if they have some sort of secondary purpose, well, then that would be worthy of your investigations as well. And it may, in fact, be what Gandalf had planned for all of us this entire time. He's a tricky one, that wizard. I trust him with my life, but not much more than that. He takes a long drag from his pipe. These are dark times, heroes. But I believe that together we can make a difference. It is a long journey. It is a treacherous one. Spring has come. Summer is almost here. The weather should be on your side. But there are dark forces about. Why, the southern bounders of the Shire, and even the dwarves from the Blue Mountains, have reported that there have been orcs sighted in the southern parts of the Shire, east of the Blue Mountains. I can only imagine how bad things have gotten further afield. You must be on your guard. There will be people... There may be people looking for you already. I wanted to say this to the last. I don't know if you were especially cautious or perhaps a bit braggart, or maybe it was just those lovely children that you rescued. But I do pay well to stay informed of the comings and goings, especially along the East Way and the Green Way. Through here, through Rivendell, up through the mountain passes, through Bree and out to the dwarves' halls. I've been told that there have been men of ill repute who have been looking for folk matching your company's description. Someone or something has taken an interest in you since your last adventure. Now, I do not want to pry, but it is possible that you may have uncovered or removed or possess something that someone wants very much. I would use caution.
The tenders of the shadow ever encroach.
So, a couple of things from a game balance, from a game perspective. Because of this current status, you will be leaving by default. you will be leaving Hobbiton with a starting eye awareness of 5, not 3. And while in a place of relative, I don't want to say populous because nothing's really populous here, but unless while you're in somewhere populated or frequented, traveled, an Eye of Sauron result will result in 2 eye awareness ticks, not 1.
Jesus.
I wouldn't worry too much though, Mr. Baggins. We got a sword that absolutely fucks bad men over. So,
Oh, great! I'm sure that you'll be totally fine. I'm no warrior. Although, if you ever need help against spiders, well, I know how to handle myself against them. Well, I will give you the rest of the week to make your preparations. The moot for Bree is scheduled for this summer. If Queen Nimue is to make it as a representative of her people, you will need to be accomplished by the end of summer so that she has time to make the journey. Otherwise, I'm afraid she'll miss the council entirely. So while you do not have crushing pressure of time, there is some consideration to be made. Still, it will be a long journey, and I advise you to choose your travel preparations carefully to make sure that you're carrying the right gear, the right equipment, and that you choose the right road. There will be advantages and disadvantages to any path that you might take, and so you must choose it carefully. And I will certainly not presume to choose it for you. Nonetheless, I will use my maps, such as I have, to accurately mark the location of the Blackwater Cove upon your map, and as such, you will be able to route yourselves there with great skill. AKA, it's a location, you know where it is, you can get there. Now, as to what you'll find there, I do not know. Only that I hope that you find some evidence of these raiders. But do not feel the need to engage a pirate fleet. I'm no Gandalf. I'm not asking you to charge a dragon. Merely, I am interested in getting Londar into the mix. I'd love to see those people just to be part of this thriving thing that we have going on here. All right. Do you accept?
Yes. Sounds like a grand adventure. We of the Fellowship of Last Call, of course.
Yes,
of
yes.
course.
He kind of mutters to himself, probably because they're on their last legs.
Long journeys never turned me away.
I'm quite fond of dwarves, as you may have heard. I'm rather excited to see you in my house. It's been some time since I've had a dwarven visitor. Why, geesh. I'm trying to think of the last time. Balin was here about a year ago. I haven't seen him since, but he is a fine and splendid fellow. If you ever get the opportunity to meet him, let him know that Bilbo Baggins sends you his love and greetings, and that he highly recommends you for this mission.
where was he heading, Balin?
I believe he was headed back to Erebor. He had journeyed to the Blue Mountains for a while to visit with kith and kin, and has made the journey back and forth several times. I always encourage him to come to tea. I say that there's an open spot for him anytime. Really, any of the dwarves. I miss Thorin. He was a good one of the best. Still, there are more journeys to make and more battles to fight. I'll lead those to you. Meanwhile, I will do what I can here in Hobbiton to prepare for this upcoming moot. I trust that you'll be there, and I trust that Queen Nimue will be there with you as well to make this happen. I'm trusting on you, heroes, not to slay orcs or trolls, but to bring together the free people of Middle-earth. All right.
We've never failed before, so we won't let you down, Mr. Baggins.
Awesome. All right.
Well, Isengard, we're going to be so far down south. Do you want to visit your place of conception while we're down here?
What, like a little hollow down the southern border of the old forest?
No, Isengard, right?
Oh, for God's sake.
right, so Bilbo, upon you guys accepting his commission, number one gives you all 30. Well, gives you as a group 30 or 5 treasure points each.
Boom.
Oh wow.
So no foreshadowing for Mora campaign then.
I'm gonna pour over Bilbo's maps and swap my herbs that I brought for persuading for a detailed map equipment instead for exploring.
Yeah, I would probably be like a little, like you could say, like, you know, like like a map of Minhiriath, or, you know, something like, you know, along those lines, or something like that, or map of Southern Eriador, or something like that, map of the coast. You know, make it a little bit more fun and flavorful. But yeah, that's totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
So my question for travel is being able to cross rivers like not a problem, or do we need to like
You can take Buckleberry Ferry, 20 miles south of the Brandywine Bridge.
That is accurate. Yes, it depends on the river. It depends on your situation. It depends on your status, as with all things. I mean, crossings are crossings for a reason. Now, that being said, you do not have cart or wagon, so your need to cross is, and nor are your horses or ponies particularly laden with, it'd be different if they were all carrying 10 load of treasure. That being said, yeah, I mean, crossing the river at certain points could be quite treacherous, or at least dangerous, depending on where you're doing it. I mean, there's a reason that, places are, fords and crossings are a thing. But that being said, it's not entirely impossible for you to cross the river. Just be aware that, there are bad things. You probably have to make a check, depending on what happens.
Out of character, should we, when we are hearing you talk about the Corsairs and Pirates, is there any inherent association to Umbar, or not really?
No. At least not like incredibly immediately, because I mean, Umbar is very far away.
Yeah.
But I mean, pirates are still a thing. I mean, regardless. It's just the thing is, like, people thought they were just like, oh, there's random pirates, and they're like, we can't be worried about trading with dwarves right now. We've got pirate attacks to deal with. And then what Alfred and Isengard and Bilbo surmise that these weren't, in fact, random pirate attacks. That not only were they coordinated, they were looking for something, and that there may have been some motivation on behalf of someone to actually try to keep Lone Dar isolated. And so that's what Bilbo's asking you to do. Find evidence of that, then go to Lone Dar and convince Nimue and her council of nobles that this happened, and that they should be joining, and that it was a maybe there was a vast conspiracy, yada 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 yada.
It strikes me, given that we're being chased by ne'er-do-wells, that it might be a better idea to head south, keeping off the roads. Just looking over the travel line that someone's drawn.
Also, not that you need to, I guess, technically, but in time, the players are bound to meet several such individuals through their career, but may designate only one of them as their primary patron at any time. A company enjoys exclusively the fellowship bonuses and advantages of your main patron. The player heroes designate their main patron when they are in the same place as the selected individual during a fellowship chase by choosing the Meet Patron undertaking. And since you have chosen to meet patron Bilbo, your patron will now change to Bilbo.
So yeah, you only get the perks of the one.
What's his perk?
So his perk is that you get you get the 2 fellowship bonus of Gandalf, but you also raise your fellowship rating by +1 until the next fellowship phase. And because that's a mechanical fellowship bonus, it also means that will be automatically restored, just like with the Man of Bree. So your fellowship rating would go to 9 per session. And obviously, with having met with Bilbo and freshly affront and leaving from after a fellowship phase, your fellowship is at a full 9 of 9. However, your eye awareness is going to be at 4 instead of 2, as it normally would be.
As everyone's like preparing for our journey I'll find a moment to step aside with Bilbo, and I'll talk to him, and I'll say that I've spent a good amount of my life in the halls of Mirkwood, and I have heard of him from Thranduil,
Okay.
and I've even seen the marvelous Arkenstone of your adventures. And I've
Fantastic.
heard the stories of your late friend Thorin Oakenshield and how his eyes drew covetously to that stone in a way that was unnerving. And I too have started to sense this ambition in one of my companions. Do you have any advice for me in steering this dwarf, who I know to be a good person, away from the dragon's ire?
Yes, the dragon sickness, they call it. Although it does not take a dragon. It is true. Thorin was swayed almost to violence against his very dearest friends and allies because of his covetous need. I love the dwarves. They are a good and hardy people. But it is true that deep within them there is a craving for the wealth of the earth and gems and gold and precious things. I have even felt that love myself when I spend too much time with them, if I'm being honest. And perhaps I say that as I am sitting on literally 1/14th share of a dragon's hoard. However, first world problems, right? All I can say is this. Your friend will rely heavily upon you to be able to combat those greedy intentions. Make sure that if those moments come up, that you are nearby to him. I would say, perhaps, if you spent extra time focusing on him and made sure that your hope for his prosperous well-being occurred, and that you were willing to help him or aid him in moments when his wisdom was being tested because of greed, that would probably give him help in avoiding such problems.
I love it. This game is amazing. I love this game.
It's quite good.
By the way, that was entirely mechanical. Nothing I said was in character.
Yeah, so what did Bilbo say?
What Bilbo said, well, shit. Sometimes you gotta slit a throat. I don't know, no. All I would say is this: at the end of the day, I believe in the goodness of dwarves, but keep an eye on him and know that at the end, things will happen as they are meant to do. But with an elf by his side, I believe that good things will come. I trust your people. In fact, I've seen many elves, friends even, leave these shores. I am honored that you continue to stay here and fight with us and battle for the hope and future of Middle-earth. I am honored, Mistress Elf.
The honor is mine, Master Bilbo. And then I'll go get my pony ready.
That's a lovely hobbit. That's a lovely hobbit pony. I wouldn't have thought an elf of Linden would have such a steed or have such a beast. Why, it looks like one that Farmer Gamgee had. All right. So you guys make any final? I saw some of you were doing some last minute swappages due to the nature of your potential adventure. But if you guys are ready, we will transition into adventuring phase.
Well, is this all right with people in the line here?
Technically, okay. Yeah, technically when we go to adventuring phase, we would then start a journey. Well, I guess we're technically in the adventuring phase now, but you have met with your patron. You would then pick your guide and your roles, and then technically the guide would pick the thing. But assuming Grom is still going to be your guide, there are, obviously there's a couple different ways that you could take. As a reminder, mechanically, there are benefits to being on the road. There are also, as I mentioned before, potentially downsides. Namely that the road is well traveled, relatively speaking. Secondly, you can't see it, but I can. But remember that there are 3 tiers of territory. There are borderlands, which are within the safe boundaries and borders of well-protected areas. Those are far and few between, by the way. When you're in a border area, it is much harder for the Eye of Sauron to catch up with you, and any event rolls you make are favored, meaning you're more likely to get a good result. The majority of lands are just wild lands where you don't get any bonuses or penalties. It's just a normal flat roll. And then there are dark lands. In dark lands, that event roll is ill-favored, aka I roll it with disadvantage. In addition, in a dark land, the threshold to trigger the hunt and a revelation episode from the eye becomes lower. In other words, easier to have a run-in with the forces of the shadow in the dark lands than it would be, say, in the heart of the Shire. Part of the meta of this will be, sort of learning what is what, and kind of as you learn about different areas and make lore checks, you could also start to probably make reasonable surmises about different things. And all that.
Check my maps against Bilbo's, and I guess if we would need to find this information before we head out, Londar, is it built across the river, or is it on the far side of that river?
It is on the far side of that river.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'd either need to ford or come back up to the road and come back down.
Yeah. So the advantage of Londar, and I suppose with since you're literally with Bilbo, is that Londar is an ancient Númenorian port town that at one point in time definitely spanned both sides of the Grey Flood here. However, it is a very wide, very shallow river, and there are people living there. So in theory, there are probably people there that could, ferry you across. Maybe, obviously you'd have to like convince them, but you'd be kind of showing up on the other side of the river, and like your presence wouldn't be entirely unnoted, as opposed to say, right here. Where there's nothing and no one, right? So it would be a very different situation. But yes, Londar, the city and the new village of Londar is built on the east side of the Gwathlo there, the Grey Flood.
Okay.
Do we know which one we want to go to first?
Well, we need to go to Blackwater.
I think we
first,
need
right?
the evidence in the cove first, is what was implied. But that doesn't necessarily have to be true.
Mhm.
Also, do we want to sail down the Branduin?
So the issue with the Branduin is a very swift-moving river, and it's full of rocks and rapids. It's one of the reasons why it was not used by the Númenorians. It's why there's like no city or anything at its mouth. It's kind of a very rocky and fast-moving stream. It's shallow, but it's more like rapids than a deep. It's no Mississippi. It's not some big river in that regard. So it has an advantage to that end, but it also has a disadvantage in that way. Whereas the Grey Flood is very much a sort of slow-moving, wide, frequently floods its banks, silty, kind of river with not as much rapids. In fact, going from Londar to Tharbad is, that's like a very reasonable river route. It's also not as fast moving. It's a much slower moving river. Much more siltation occurs.
Yeah, I was just figuring we'd, move alongside the river. So for hunting and water, if we need it, right, for traveling. So
additionally, obviously, if you're on a boat, no ponies or horses. Unless you had a very big boat or a very big barge.
You take the Titanic. My only consideration, I got distracted by Bilbo's maps earlier. Didn't mean to interrupt you guys when you were having a chat. Hobbit distraction. I was thinking rather than staying on the road, we could sort of chuckle down the river a bit and then cross over at Sarnford. Given that there's folks after us. Obviously, I know they might not be this close to the Shire, but
the Shire is probably safe-ish. Like it's safe.
You also have like a time limit to actually get back before summer.
Yeah, so currently it is basically like end of May, give or take. And so like, the moot would be like, in August, so, and obviously things don't happen. Like, it's not like, oh, the meeting's on Thursday, things take a long time at that point. But basically, you have 2 months, give or take, to get where you're going.
Yeah, and it took us like 2 weeks to get to the Whale of Morgan, or was it a month?
Well, it took you 22 days to get there and back. and back meant go from the Vale to Hobbiton. So
And that was with some good rolls.
yes, you did very well in your event rolls. You had 2 shortcuts. You succeeded on all of them and stuff like that. But
Where's the ominous wood?
it is right there next to Blackwater Cove. Its name is kind of buried in the,
I see.
woods there. It's called Erin of Orn. Think Fanghorn.
Sure.
Sweet.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
I make this suggestion to the captain and ask him what he thinks.
Yeah, I think it's a good path to take. We can do something shenanigans in the Sarnford to try to get people off our tracks.
Yeah,
maybe.
Also, keep in mind that you're planning this route, and you'll start to take it. But if you reach the Sarn Ford, or you're making your way down the Brandywin, and you decide, oh, we need to do something different, or we need to go to Tharbad, you can always change your route. It's not like you're locked into this for all time. It's just, generally speaking, your route, right?
What's the state of Tharbad in this?
Yeah, so Tharbad is another Numenorian city in ancient ruin. People live there, but it is kind of a city of thieves and ne'er-do-wells, and it's kind of a rough and tumble town more than anything. I mean, everywhere's a rough and tumble town, but like compared to Bree, it's it's like the bad Bree, it's like the evil Bree, it's like
The evil twin.
yeah, it's like the evil twin, I'll tell you this, it is definitely outside of the Dunedain's sort of reach. It kind of represents sort of the boundaries, literally like the boundary between what once was the kingdoms of the north and the lost realm of Arnor, and Enedwaith. Waith means land. Enedwaith literally means middle land. It was basically, Enedwaith was the area between Arnor to the north and Gondor to the south, because back in the day, by the way, Rohan was actually a part of Gondor. It was part of the Southern Kingdom. It was given to the descendants of Errol, Erolingas, who as a for his service to Gondor, as sort of, here, you can have this land as a fiefdom. But at that time, Rohan, and in fact, Isengard was built, or the Tower of Orthanc was built by the Numenorians when they built their kingdoms here as sort of like the huge watchtower at the southern end of the Misty Mountains. So you could think of like Isengard as kind of being like the former northern border of the Southern Kingdom, and you could think of Tharbad as sort of being like the very bottom southern town of the Northern Kingdom. And so Enedwaith was always kind of like this middle land between, nobody really ruled there.
Ohio?
Yeah, it's the flyover state. It was a flyover state. Yes, it's Ohio. It's Ohio.
I was going to say the DMZ, but Ohio works too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they weren't at war with each other, so it's not really a DMZ.
I know.
But yeah. Also, not to get like too deep into Tolkien lore, but you see, when the Numenorians landed here, they harvested all the natural resources and plundered the hell out of Middle-earth, and they cut down all of the trees in Minhiriath and Enedwaith, and they basically pissed everyone off and like drove all like the children of the forest away, and like, really completely colonized and were horrible people. And they raped the land of so much resources that they actually built a new town further up the river, because Londar like wasn't an effective like central town anymore, because there was nothing around it, because they had just literally harvested every natural resource. So they just moved, they made a new town further up the river so they could just keep harvesting further inland, and then put stuff on boats in Tharbad, sail it down the Grey Flood, and then back to Numenor. So, yeah, I mean, the Numenors were cool. They were the great kings of the sea, the men of Westerness, blessed by the Valar with and they were also colonizing fucks. But so they're
Tolkien actually said that in one of his letters.
I think that was in letter 692. Yeah.
I would say the final consideration we should have for our journey is whether or not we want to travel within the tree cover. I know that the map's probably not literal, but along the banks, it looks like there's more trees. And if we wanted to go on the hills, it might be a more direct path.
Yeah, and of course, as always, too, remember, there's always these floating circumstance bonuses that I can give you, right? +1 dice, +2 dice, -1 dice, -2 dice. Good ideas and solid plans, especially things that might help you hunt better or scout better or look out better or travel better, can be rewarded with dice. Poor ideas, he chose wisely, he chose poorly, right? Will be failure will be success will be rewarded, failure will be punished. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and start the adventuring phase then. And of course, you guys are leaving Hobbiton, so that means a journey. So you have a proposed route from your guide. You guys can obviously it is not necessarily a monarchy, but you have an opportunity here to change or assign your current travel arrangements. So as a couple of reminders, only people who are assigned to a role can help one another. So if you're out scouting, you're kind of on your own, unless someone is out scouting with you. But the guide is on their own. No one can help you guide.
I think we're good with our.
Mm-hmm. Derek, could you create the journey log for this one? And I'll keep the notes updated.
Of course. Let's see. So we are journeying. This is a journey log. There we go. Okay, we got. It is still the spring. You are journeying from Hobbiton, and you are traveling to Blackwater Cove. The days of travel is TBD, and once you lock in, you'll get that. All right, you should see that now in the items. It's called Journey Log, but you'll have to give it a proper name. But you have full ownership over it, so you should have access to that. I will also create a song. What is the name of the song?
It's called Wandering Alfred. And just as a spoiler alert, 100% of the songs that I create are going to be Johnny Flynn ripoffs. He's like a folk singer from the West Country. I think he might be Irish, actually.
All right.
Doesn't sound it.
I have added Wandering Alfred to you guys' fellowship. It even has a check mark for when it's been used. All right.
Do you need the words?
I mean, you own it, so you should be able to edit it and paste in the words or something like that. All right. So let me change this here. Edit. How do I change that? Oh, there's the name. Let's see here. To the coast. Okay. So we've got your journey.
I was going to call it Shadow Tides.
Oh, okay. Shadow Tide is even better.
Because it's kind of black water.
Yeah. Shadow Tide's good. All right. The journey to Shadow Tides. All right. Do you guys want to go ahead with this? You guys want to go ahead with this path? All right.
Works for me.
Spoiler alert for the people at home. All right. Let me change my...
Red, doom, death.
All right, here we go. So, you begin, and your guide, Grom, sets the path. Easy going as it is, Grom. You are located within the Shire, so that's obviously going to be a very pleasant several days of journeying. As a reminder, as you are on a road, so when you get a failure, you will travel 2 hexes before you have an event. If you get a success, you will travel 3 hexes plus 1 for each Tengwar rune you roll on a 6. In addition, if you, generally speaking, each day of travel is roughly a hex, and 1 day can be added for each hex that is hard terrain, such as hills, woods, and marshes. You can also, if time does become an effort, you can force march, which lets you cover hexes in a faster temporal location, but you do take extra fatigue for doing that. And lastly, when it comes to actually resolving your event, you get a bonus to your roll if you are along a road. You get a penalty to resolving your event if you are in hard or rough terrain. Alrighty. So, Grom, why don't you
All right.
lead us through the Shire?
I will take us out. I consult my maps and I follow the road.
Sounds
Remember to roll well. Just
Okay. No problem.
all right. There's that Eye of Sauron right off the rip, and no sixes. Love to see it, but you take your time.
Barely. Jeez.
Okay.
3 ones.
Right. So you guys are going to travel 4 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess actually we'll go here because that first hex doesn't really count. Toggle. There we go. All right. So you begin making your way out of the Shire. You cross down into the road to Sarn Ford. You pass down through the downs, south into the southern, into the South Farthing, passing down past the White Downs, into the rolling country of the Shire, where the major encampments, cities and towns of the Shire are mostly behind you. You are now sort of into the rolling hillside and far green hills of the Shire. Apple orchards and peach orchards surround you, along with countless, endless rows of vineyards. It is a beautiful and fair country. But it is still Middle-earth, and so after the first several days of travel, which you don't even really have to use your own supplies, you find yourself always being invited to supper somewhere along the roads. Nonetheless, as you enter to your 4th day of travel, you find yourself mostly alone. You see, of course, off in the distance, a few scattered hobbit farms and farmsteads. Their chimneys still blowing smoke at night. But for the most part now, it is just rolling through endless pastoral, beautiful countryside. And this is a safe area, so I will roll your travel roll.
Imagine if those 3 ones would have been on the opposite side of the dice.
Right, you would have just crushed it. But again, remember, you're still making good pace. All right, I will roll 2d12. Okay, so instead of the 3, I'm going to take the 10.
I love it when Foundry absolutely sends the dice.
Yeet.
All right. It's chance meeting. I think there's actually a random table for this, but that's okay.
Shit, we meet Chance the Rapper.
Yes. Okay, so this is for your hunter. This is Otar.
Yeah.
All right. So this encounter will generate 1 point of fatigue. However, if the roll succeeds, no fatigue is gained, and I will improvise an encounter favoring the company. So, Otar, so you are off, in the Shire, and of course, now that you're kind of on your own, you're not really hunting so much as just kind of foraging and sort of making your way through, pastoral fields and just in general having a good go of it. So why don't you go ahead and make a hunting roll to see if you come across anything in particularly interesting.
Okay. So is it a good thing to be tall in the Shire? Can I see further?
Yeah, I like it. It's good.
Okay.
Also, you're along a road, so you're going to add 1 die to this as well from the circumstance bonuses.
And I also have my bird, so...
Right.
Incidentally, Derek, if you
Yep.
roll the events from the journey log,
Yeah.
it will populate all of the item with everything.
Okay.
Good roll.
Fantastic roll. Crushing it.
That was a lot of dice.
Yeah. We got a 39. All right. So you're off hunting, as one does, and as you're going in there, you have a chance meeting. Oh, I actually prepared for this because I'm terrible with names, so I have a journal. I just never use the journal, so I have to actually look it up. You have a chance meeting with with Mungo.
Okay.
Mungo, a kind of rough hobbit. He's not as genteel as some of the, because Bilbo is a Richie Rich from a noble family. He's more of a Sam Gamgee type fellow. As you're off, you meet Mungo, and you guys share a day together, and you guys go fox hunting together, and he's like, yeah, they've been getting into me. Yeah, they've been getting into my coops, and they've been killing me chickens, and I could use some help just, driving them out to the burrows. And we don't need to kill them. We just need to drive them off, or at least trap some of them. And you and him have a great day foxing. You work with his dogs. It's a great day hunting. And by the end of it, you and Mungo are, kind of fast friends. And of course, hobbits are very suspicious of strangers, but, he starts calling you the short and tall, lethal combination. And he's like, I don't think I've ever met a man. So he's like, you're a giant. You know that, right? You're just a giant. You're just a giant man. Yeah. And so with the help of your hunting prowess, as successful as you are, getting an extraordinary success, you're able to somehow not only drive off without killing any of the foxes, you manage to drive off the foxes. You save a litter of you save his dog from getting, caught in a bear trap. It's like everything about it is fantastic and great. So Mungo, who is a little suspicious of strangers, ends up inviting your group back to his house. And you guys enjoy a fabulous dinner in a wonderful, cozy hobbit house. No fatigue is gained. However, as you're talking with Mungo, you guys are kind of sharing, ideas. He's like, "Oh, heading south, are you? Well, I'd be careful. Are you headed to the Sarn Ford? There've been strange things afoot there. Odd people, if you catch my drift. I mean, all people are strange. But I've made my way south there a few weeks ago, and I noticed some unusual people. Now, to be clear, people do cross the Sarn Ford. It's one of the most easy ways to cross the Brandywine. But these had an ill look about them. But when I returned, about 10 days later, I saw the same men at the ford, as if they were waiting for someone or something. I didn't like the look of them. I didn't get any closer, but I will say this. If you're planning on taking the Sarn Ford, or you're planning on taking the Greenway south to South Arbad, I'd be careful. I think there may be some perilous locations along the way. All right. So, what he has told you is that this is a perilous location, and so let me reveal this real quick here. Oh, it is raining really hard.
Foehammer or Cold Warden pulses in Otar's back.
Yeah.
Blood.
All right. So you guys haven't encountered these yet, but these are things on the map that are called perilous locations. And what a perilous location is it is a space on the map that basically automatically triggers an event roll. And can sometimes be on a separate table depending on what kind of event it is. Case in point, like if you go through Moria, as an example, the number inside the hex is how many event rolls you have to make. Now, in this case, 1. Some particularly treacherous areas, which could represent a very dangerous area, or a very whether because it's like geographically dangerous, or it's faction-based danger, orcs and evil things, or it could just be geographically treacherous. Might have a 2 or a 3 or even a 4. I do think Moria is the only thing on the map that is a 4. But it's basically a guaranteed event roll. So you stop there. You have to have that number of encounters, and then you move on. And because you rolled an extraordinary success with Mungo, and he trusts you so much, and you did him such a solid, not only do you not gain fatigue for this event, he also has sort of informed you that there is a peril awaiting at the ford. Now, I'm not going to lie. It's still a random roll. I don't know what it is. I just know that there's going to be one, and it could be on a different table because it's coming from the perilous events of this specific perilous events.
We're definitely going to go there, right, to see what it's about. Because got to engage with the mechanics of the game and its actual play.
I mean, the other time, I mean, if it is something dangerous, it might behoove you to not ignore it.
I mean, yeah, because we could try to do this and then try to cross the river if we wanted to do that instead and avoid
crossing the rapids is likely a peril in itself.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought.
So I will say this, because Goblins got an extraordinary success. If you do decide to go south and stay east of the spur of the mountains. Now, keep in mind, remember what Bilbo said. The southern bounders of the South Shire and the dwarves of the Blue Mountains had seen orcs.
So we're picking our poison here.
I'm just saying. Now, the other thing though is if you do decide to go south, Mungo can give you a good location to cross that isn't as safe as Sarnford, but is a lot safer, and I will give you bonus dice if you do end up having to make some sort of athletics check or something as a group to cross, because he'll basically say, oh, I know a good spot. It's not on any map. It's not really a ford in a traditional sense, but for a single party of just 5 people and, you know, a small number of ponies, it would probably be sufficient. But for like a wagon or a cart or a properly heavily loaded baggage train, it would never suffice. But for you guys, it might. So
I'll leave this up to our captain.
I cast my vote for the West Bank.
So Idranio wants to go to on the other, doesn't want to go to Sarnford.
How good are people at athletics? Because I don't feel that anyone, just me, basically,
Awful.
have some. Yeah,
I'm good at it.
I'm good at it.
I would like to push the button on Sarnford.
Yeah. So a couple things. Remember, when it is a group check, any 6s rolled, assuming you succeed at your base check, any 6s rolled can cancel out the failures of another person. If you do fail an affording check, you could be looking at potentially gaining a wound, potentially losing some endurance, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because you recover that pretty easily with a prolonged rest. But you could be looking at extra fatigue, or at maybe worst case scenario, you could be looking at a wound. But do remember, anytime you are wounded, there is that chance that the Eye of Sauron comes up and you are swept away down the river until... you could also potentially lose. You could also potentially lose equipment, or a horse or a pony.
Yeah, I think there is value in knowing what is after you. So I think in trying to Sarnford and take a look at these mysterious people and see who they are have value in itself. So,
wise decision.
Old Warden speaks through him.
He is wisdom too. All right. All right. So it sounds, Grom, like the group wants to continue to Sarnford.
All right.
All right. Or at least Otar, your captain, does. All right. So
we know that there are danger then, so we will just not rush into the village. So
I will say this: if there's a lookout roll or a scout roll, if there's something trying to ambush you, I will absolutely be giving you massive bonuses to that. Because you are quite literally going, eyes up into this situation, right? Okay.
Yep.
Grom. So, by the way, 4 days have passed.
I will say that the cold warden, the sword is tucked away in my backpack and
okay,
not strapped to my.
No, that's good to know. Yep. That's good to know. All right. So go ahead and roll. Go ahead and make your second travel. Oh, huge. All right. So you got a success and an extraordinary success at that. So perhaps perhaps because of Grom's incredible hospitality, you feel renewed, and Grom, now driven by a sense of purpose and perhaps feeling more confident because you know what lies ahead of you, makes your way. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the 5th day, of your travel.
Perfect. Got us there, so we don't have to spend an extra stop.
Right. You
Like-
don't have to have any event. Otherwise, if you had rolled lower, you would have had to have an event and then immediately have an event.
Yeah.
And when you get to this location, also it stops you. Right. It stops your forward progress. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days into your journey, you guys begin approaching the Sarn Ford. And this is
Incidentally, I'm not able to add us or the mounts or the events to the journey log, so I can't track the fatigue.
Oh, okay. Let me.
Sorry for interrupting with admin.
No, that's all right. I thought I made everybody an owner. You are definitely an owner, but apparently you can't do that.
Yeah, I guess it might be permissions based or something, but I've tried dragging, typing. The only thing I can edit is the journey log and journal.
Oh, but
Did you remember the alt thing or whatever you have to?
Yes, there's no edit. And the event stuff populates automatically when Derek rolls on the log. Excuse me. Lad. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll do the rest.
All right. All right. So the first one was your hunter. You had a chance meeting in a borderland, and the result was an All right. Perfect. Now, this is not technically a dark land, but there are evil forces at work here. Okay, perfect. Oh, perfect. It's like the game couldn't make it better for myself. It's a lookout mishap, which is perfect. Okay, so you are approaching Sarn Ford quite cautiously. Now, Sarn Ford isn't a village. It's not a town. It's just a place where the Brandywine becomes particularly shallow and rocky. In flooding, it is basically unnavigable. But when the river is low, it is, basically just like less than a foot deep. And you are very cautiously making your way towards and down towards Sarn Ford to make your crossing. Who is your lookout? You have two lookouts.
We have
right?
two.
All right. So Isengard and Idraniel are two eyes, double eyes. So the eyes are
The Eye Squad.
Yeah, the Eye Squad has their a peak of attention as you begin making your way down to the ford. You are
Making my way down forward. Sorry.
Is everything a song now?
Sorry.
No, it's not.
He makes one song and now everything's a song.
Yeah, right now everything's a song. You begin cautiously making your way through the shallows, and you're being very cautious and attention when, let's see if you spy the rope that or chain that has been laid in the shallows of the ford to act as sort of a trip wire to kind of tangle you up. And more importantly, if you spy the evil men who are hiding in the rocks nearby. So one of you has to make a awareness check.
Do we have any bonus die because of assumed carefulness on this?
2 bonus dice.
And I'm also inquisitive, which makes my
Well, one of you can make the roll.
So I'm not easily deceived by appearances. So presumably, a bit cunning in terms of catching potential traps. So I can make it as well if you like Adrenal.
Yeah. You seem handsome enough.
Yeah. All right. Iskar.
And are we down for an inspired using the inquisitive trait?
Oh yeah.
Not easily deceived.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll spend the hero point there.
You're naturally inquisitive and cautious, anyways.
Yeah. Heart of the cards.
All
Absolute
right.
betrayal.
All right. Well, you still got a 28 great success, so you're more than sufficient. However, obviously this is still somewhat fatigue-inducing, as it is still 2 points of fatigue gained. However, as you begin moving down into the ford, Adraniel and Isengard suddenly pull up their hands, and Otar and Grom kind of come short as they suddenly spy underneath the water the rope that has sort of been, sort of stretched taut, and you can kind of, as you quickly look left and right, you can see that further up along the banks of the shores, near some rocky boulders that have tumbled down from the nearby banks, you spy several ill-looking men wearing dark gray clothes to hide in with these rocks, crouched low upon the embankment, ready to sort of pull the rope tight to either trap or cause you to trip and stumble into the water. Now, clearly, that would be more of an inconvenience than any sort of thing dangerous, unless they were planning on then subsequently ambushing you. So, I am gonna go to a map, but you guys tell me what you want to do. All right, so Grom and Otar are in front, just entering. Adraniel and Isengar are kind of up here. Alfred, you're kind of in the middle. And you can see up the banks is a handful of highway robbers and footpads. And because you rolled so well that you can see on the opposite side of the stream, you can see several other men hiding in the bushes. Now, of course, you don't immediately know their intentions, but they don't seem great. So this is not just a combat. I'm just saying it could become one. But Isengar and Draenil, you are the lookouts. You spotted this, so you guys kind of have, quote unquote, the initiative. Now, obviously, too, by the way, don't dawdle too long. They saw that you went, wait, stop, hold up.
Fireball.
Yeah, right. God damn, I wish I missed D&D so bad. Fireball. I leap into the air 300 feet, and they land in a cratering impact amongst them and scatter them to the wind.
I imagine Adraniel is probably on this.
Just full Gilgal at it. Just absolutely charge them. Shit out of everyone.
So, Adraniel, you see the men crouched low on the right side, and then you also see that, maybe kind of like coming up the road, maybe looking nonchalant, but now you're kind of putting two and two together. A group of men coming down as well, down the road and embankment, and it looks like these are men here to waylay you. So, Adraniel, I'm going to ask you, what do you do?
Can't assume that a man so evil he should die. So I'll wait for their action.
Good. That's very good. Isengar, what about you?
I follow Adraniel's lead. She's
Okay.
a point man for these sorts of situations. But cautious, hand on bow, ready for defense if needed.
All right. So Adraniel stops and hesitates and shows restraint and wisdom and somewhat comfort. And, they see that you stop. And then, as they do so, one of the men steps forward, maybe the leader of this route. And I wish there was a way that you could just right-click on a token. I'm sure there's a module that does this.
There's a Ripper mod that you want image context.
You just right-click on it and just hit show players or something.
Exactly
like that.
that.
Yeah.
I think it's a free mod. If not, it's $7.
Okay. And
there we go.
And a man kind of as he kind of comes forward, he kind of throws back and he kind of stops at the shallows of the water and he goes, leave it to an elf to spoil your fun. Well, lads, looks like the jig is up. You can see kind of along the banks, kind of wading into the shallows a little bit, come a series of men, the highway robbers. Everyone has bows, by the way, but you can see that bows are drawn, and the highway robbers actually have some spears that they're kind of resting on, and the sort of the chieftain of the ruffians says, "All right then, lads. Well, I suppose we don't have to do this the hard way. We could do it the easy way. Come on then. Out with your gold, your weapons, your silver. We'll be taking it all."
That's not the easy way. The easy way would be to let us pass.
I'm afraid I can't do that. You see, we hear the toll collectors. We gotta pay. We gotta keep the river safe from wandering vagrants such as yourselves.
I can be a fucking head collector.
Now, come on, now. I've
Can
got 6 bows trained on you. Well, this doesn't need to go south.
Can I conjure the spirit of the river and a stampede of water horses washes them all away?
Bit derivative.
That is a bit derivative, and no, your magical successes aren't quite that powerful, unfortunately. You do not wield a ring of power, nor are you an Astari or an elf lord of ancient Noldor.
All right. Touche.
Sorry.
Yep, should have been a different elf.
There's no need for nothing.
I agree. You look like a capable sort, and elves and dwarves are known to be somewhat to prowess, but we do outnumber you. We have advantage here, and I'm looking for any sort of trouble here. Just your possessions, your gold, your silver. I'll even let you keep your food and your horses. You can keep on your travels.
You don't outnumber.
I'm
as much
actually
as you
being
think.
extremely reasonable.
So Alfred said that seemingly in response to the main guy, but really he meant it for Grom. Like, we don't need to be chopping these guys to pieces.
All right, Grom, let's let we haven't heard from Grom. Idraniel has shown restraint. Isengar has taken Idraniel's lead. Alfred seems to be throwing up some hands. What does Otar, noble captain of the Bardings, and what does Grom, son of Grim, son of Groom, think of all of this?
Yeah, my hand is like ready to go for my axe. But I'm showing. I'm basically going to follow Otar's lead on this,
Okay.
but I am very much ready to just heads.
I think Utar is trying to see if there are more to them than just
Yeah.
being highway robbers,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah, Otar, go ahead and make an insight check, Otar. That's a great use of an insight. Ooh,
No.
Otar. All right, Otar. So that's going to be everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
Where is it? There it is.
He finds cold. He finds cold ward in his hands. Mysteriously.
Yes. Otar, you fail. Not only do you fail, but you got a 9. Now, granted, remember, you aren't miserable. If you were miserable, that would be like a critical failure, a critical fumble, like a bad thing, the eye. But instead, it's just treated as a 0. But whenever you roll an eye, not in combat, which you're not, technically, then you do increase the eye awareness, in this case, by 2 because you're being watched. However, Otar, as you sort of started kind of trying to assess them out, it seems to enrage the ruffian chieftain even more. And I'm going to say, because of your failure, he spies the sword.
Okay.
And he goes, "These are them, lads, the ones we were told about. Take them quickly." And with that, the highway robber and the footpads all quickly bring their bows to their cheeks and prepare to let fly. All right. I am going to go ahead and put you into combat.
Yeah.
And because you guys were waiting, normally in opening volleys, you guys get the opening volley as a group. However, because you guys were showing restraint, and these are not, by the way, they have resolve, not hate. And so a couple of things. It should be visible to you guys. I kind of redid some of the bars above all of the creatures. So you should now be able to see their endurance, their resolve, and their might. So in particular, note that everyone here is might 1. The ruffian chief is might 2. Also note that they do not have 60 endurance, like other adversaries that you may have been used to fighting. As these have resolved, now it works the same as hate, but it does mean that these are, while they are classified as evil men, that is their designation in the bestiary, they aren't irredeemably evil, and so there is certain considerations to be made in terms of being a good hero of the West, which you guys have done a good job of doing that. It also means that agents of Sauron will never surrender. They will fight to the death, or they will flee like cowards, but they will never give up, surrender, plead for mercy, or things like that, because they're just going to fight to the end because they're full of hatred. These creatures may not be the same. So in any case, normally you guys would make the opening volleys, but because you were showing restraint and waiting, they are going to make the opening volley first. Now, the ruffian chief has a bow, but he didn't really have one out, so I'm just going to instead shoot with my other people who had their bows out. So we're going to start by shooting at Adraniel. Now, I don't know if your thing does this automatically. If you have a shield out and equipped during volley range checks, its parry bonus is doubled. It probably won't do this, but it might if we'll see how awesome the Foundry module is. But we're going to start with the footpad on the left, who is going to shoot at Adraniel, who has a parry of 19. And so the highway robber and footpad shoot, probably to no avail. No. Okay. And then on the right, Otar is going to get shot by the highway robber as the footpads and highway robbers pull bowstrings to their cheek and let fly. Oh, I forgot Gandalf runes are bad for me.
Yep.
I got excited for half a second.
So are we going to get a volley and they're just going first?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
So we're not just going straight into melee after this.
No. You were aware enough of the ambush and everything.
Okay.
As you can see, things are missing you incredibly well. All right, Alfred, time to see if this actually works. All right, Alfred, what is your actual parry?
I believe it is 19, 17 plus 2 from
So
shield.
it should actually be 21.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it does not automatically update that. So, did I get a 21? No. I got a 9. All right, and lastly but not leastly, Grom. Come on, one time. Eye of Sauron. Let's go. No. All right. Arrows.
Those are some Edril rolls if ever I've seen them.
Arrows. Well, you guys are, you're heroes. You're prepared for this. Arrows from the footpads and robbers sail down amongst your group, but you're already quickly moving into your quick stances, pulling out spear and bow to return volleys before the combat is joined. The arrows fail to meet their mark, deflecting off of shields or being parried aside, or you quickly take cover amongst the nearby branches of nearby trees or shrubs as the highwaymen and robbers begin moving in. Clearly, they were counting on you being, mostly face down in the water, unprepared and ambushed. That did not occur, and so their shots all fail to hit the mark. All right, you guys can now return your volleys as well, in whatever order you so see fit. Of course, remember, if you have a bow out, you can shoot it. If you have a spear, you can throw it, but then it is dropped. Or you can always chuck a stone. All right. It's a useless it's a series of running shots as bows let fly. Adraniel also misses with her shot. With her spear thrown at the footpad. All right. You guys don't have to wait for each other. Just target a monster and roll your dice and describe, what you're doing and shooting.
Throwing a spear.
Hey! It's a failure. Oh, you threw it to ruffian chief. He said, I'm not taking out. Alfred just chucks his spear across the river into the ruffian chief. Oh, Isengard! Isengard gets an extraordinary.
Wait, shouldn't you be favored?
I should be favored. It doesn't apply automatically. Okay.
No, you'll have to do it manually.
Can I roll a quick D12?
No, because you rolled a Gandalf rune.
No, I didn't.
No, you rolled a 2.
I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. I'm sorry. You rolled a 10. Oh, I thought you rolled a 10. Oh,
No,
that
I
was
rolled
somebody
a 2.
else's. Yes,
Yeah.
you can. You can roll a D12.
Just in case. Heart of cards. Give it a Gandalf.
I saw a Gandalf rune fly by.
That was
Or
my,
he's somewhere closer to a 9.
rolling a 10.
Good
Oh my
God.
God.
Okay.
So no piercing blow for me.
Okay. Right. So you got a 3. The most you could up it is by 2. So, all right. So Isengard,
You still deal 13 damage.
You do 13 damage to the
Get down,
ruffian.
mate.
So he immediately goes to 0 endurance.
Just plonk him in the eye, basically. And then
Correct.
my hope was to do that, and so that someone can try to convince everyone else to flee now that they're, leaders. Took an arrow in the knee.
And,
Aw.
and Grom, you're short. So spears go sailing, and the ruffian chief immediately staggers back, wounded. And I have to roll a.
Did every single roll fail except Isenglass?
Yeah,
I rolled
the rest of
10
us aren't that
success.
great at ranged.
Right.
Well,
I like
Probably
if I
sounds
wouldn't have
good.
rolled a 1, it was on a 10, and then it clicked over to a 1, and I was like, well,
Favorite on combat is insane, by the way.
yeah, it's
Pretty good.
absolutely insane. Unless you roll a 2 and a 3,
Even then, insane.
Yeah. Okay. So the ruffian chieftain is wounded and drops unconscious.
I told you we didn't need to do this, boys.
All right. I am going to rule that all of the people immediately lose a point of resolve, as this person gets immediately dropped. Why an incredible arrow. Now he's not dead. He is, because he does have 2 wounds. But when you go to 0 endurance, you are unconscious. Actually, technically, I do have to roll a d12 because he was wounded. And if I roll a Gandalf rune, you have killed him. But no, okay. So the ruffian chief falls back, essentially out of it, and then the rest continue to press on. So I'm going to put you all into combat mode. All right. So now we're going to go to close combat. So you have to. I never remember the sequence. Opening volleys, close quarter rounds. Okay, close quarter rounds. Okay, first you guys are going to pick your stance. Then we're going to do engagement. There are 6 of them active, and there are 5 of you. So I'm going to be picking engagements. However, when you pick your stance, as long as you're not outnumbered 2 to 1, which you're not, for every 2 of you, you could pick 1 person to be in rearward, and then I can't engage that person at all, if that makes any sense. So you are allowed to put 1 person into rearward.
Will I volunteer myself?
The rest of you
I
will
can
have
do
to be
nothing
in a
else.
stance that is not rearward. All right, everybody's in a stance. Great. So now I will choose the engagements. All right, so we got Otar and Alfred open, and Draniel and Grom in defensive. All right, so I'm going to put, and I have to put people on everybody. So I'm going to put a footpad here and a footpad here. I'm going to put a highway robber here, and I'm going to put a highway robber here. And then with the remaining, they can stand back and shoot, or they can engage in melee, and they are going to engage in melee against Alfred. And the most you could be teamed up against is 3. So that is
They
what
want
we
that sword.
Yeah.
Come and take it.
Yeah. So they close in with Otar, and I think I can do this.
Then that's our open stance.
What's that?
Then it's our open stance. We'll go.
It is going to be open stance. Yeah. Heroes still go first.
Because we're heroic.
Right.
Are you going to rally or strike, Alfred?
Rally.
Okay, there we go. Let me see if I can do this. Does this work? Yeah, cool. I can mark who's engaged with who.
What's Grom doing in defensive?
Waiting on this rally.
Oh,
All right, there we go.
what about the horn?
Artillery.
The big
That's
horn.
going to turn
AoE
2.
horn.
That's turn 2. I'll go offensive. I'll get this rally. You're
Oh,
scanning
how many-
anyways.
How many
Oh,
dice
true.
do you need on your?
All of them.
So yeah, I'll rally. I'm gonna spend a hope.
Okay, Alfred, why don't you describe what your rally? Well, roll your first, then we'll see what happens.
Get 'em, lads!
Hey!
Hey!
There we
Nice.
A great success. All right,
Um,
so in this case, right, it'll be next round. Everyone in forward and open will get +1 die, right?
Yes.
That's cool.
So yeah, Alfred will regale the party about a time many moons ago, a long story as he's fending off blows Waylaid on a road, a stream such as this. Oh, it was a bright, sunny spring day, and he'll just keep rambling.
Alfred's ramblings somehow inspire you and enhearten you. You are rallied beyond possible means.
Well, we're all worried that if he keeps talking, he's going to go into a coughing fit and just open himself up. So we're like, hey, we got to take these guys out.
Right. You're like, oh no, Alfred's in trouble. He's having a stroke.
It's not Alfred's story that enheartens us against the combat. It's the combat that, since we can't hear his story, enheartens us.
Right. All right. Okay. Otar. You are facing off against 3 people.
Yeah, I think I've just tried to hit one of them.
Yes, it goes without saying, by the way, Otar, that Cold Warden gleams in your hands, as these are evil men.
Yeah, Cold Warden is actually in my backpack, so
Right,
I'm
okay.
using my normal.
All right,
sword.
using your normal sword, but Cold Warden's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Let me at him.
I can sense the blood. Give it to me.
Right. All right. Have at it, Otar. Remember to push T to target somebody.
Yeah, I think I did.
Oh,
But I
okay.
did.
All right, Otar, you are in an open stance. You're keeping your options open. You're fighting. You're in like knee-deep water. It's racing past you. And suddenly 2 highway robbers with spears and a footpad armed with a cudgel are closing in against you. You decide that, discretion is the better part of valor. And your attack is really more aimed at sort of keeping them from completely surrounding you and kind of keeping them in front of you, keeping them at an arm's distance. Nonetheless, you're unable to land a satisfactory blow. Grom and Idraniel, 2 footpads approach you each with a cudgel.
As the brigands splash around in the water trying to flank Otar,
Yep.
Adrenal will rush to his aid.
All right, you're going to protect your companion. All right, sweet. All right. Yep, the next attack aimed at the protected hero gets a malice. What the fuck is that word? Oh. Okay. What the hell does that do?
Oh, several.
Wow. The next attack aimed at the protected hero loses 1 dice plus another 1 dice for each success icon that you roll. So the next attack aimed at him is going to lose 3 dice. All right.
And I am just keeping my shield raised and trying to take a swipe at this guy.
Yep. All right. Well, guess what? You're effective. The footpad is not used to fighting a skilled, seasoned dwarf. He's really more of just a young lad with a cudgel. You fend him off and push him off and bash him in the side with your axe, and you're kind of like, get away from me, boy. I got no time for you. All right. Well, the creatures, the evil men are going to attack. So, Adrenal, as you move over to Otar's side. Rearward. I forgot about you.
Fucking hobbits. Hobbits always overlooked.
All right, Hobbit. Who are you surgically
It is a little
targeting?
confusing because you almost want to do like all of the melee and then the range, and I
Right. No, it's
think that's
all
part
the
of
heroes,
it, but it's like
first,
all
yeah.
heroes and then
Yeah, all heroes.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop the one on Alfred.
Okay, got it. Oh
no! Oh no!
Lethal
Yes, you are.
precision.
Christ.
Lethal
Oh, no.
precision. All right. Well, how much damage you do? Obviously, it's already piercing. Blow.
I
You don't
mean,
need to worry about
he's gonna die. I think.
that. No, he gets to make a test.
I think even with the damage.
He takes 8, so he's at 2. He's going to spend a point of resolve to make this favored. And
Oh, they got more health. I was looking at their footpad.
all right.
Yeah, some of them have 8, some of them have 16.
So the
Still,
footpads have 8. Yes, the robbers have 16.
Yeah.
All right.
Damn.
And he is. Oh my god!
Oh my
The
God.
best roll of all time.
Yeah.
The arrow strikes him, and it gets stuck in his cloth, and it just like bangs into his back. It doesn't actually pierce his heart, and he kind of like is shaken more than damaged.
Stirred.
Yeah, shaken, not stirred, by your shot. All right, now my creatures could go. All right, the footpad will attack Adrenal, just trying to batter you with a cudgel, and it's a crit. Automatic success. You take 3 points of damage, Adrenal, and you must make a protection roll against TN 12.
Okay, this is gonna be scary. Okay, so
Of course,
I take.
you
Sorry,
can't
how
spend
much
a hope.
endurance? 3.
You took 3 points of damage.
Okay. And then how do I do a protection roll? This is my first.
So-
You should be able to click on it
You
in the.
should be able to click on it right in the chat box. It'll bring up a dialog box, and then you can potentially add a die if you wish to spend a hope,
Yeah,
or if
I'll
you-
have to spend a hope.
or if you have anything else that can help you there. Actually, no, you're in combat. You can't spend a hope, I don't think, for this. I lied.
Oh, is that only skills?
I think it's only skills. This is actually what you taught me.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Thinking. I think that would be it then.
Yeah, let's see here. No, never mind. A player who is about to make a die roll can spend 1 hope point to gain 1 dice. So you can do that. You can only
you just-
support a skill roll.
Yeah,
So
and I
that's-
can't do the elf magic and can't support.
No, because this is not a skill.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying I
correct.
cannot do those 2 things.
Correct.
Okay. So I will spend hope.
Yep.
And I'm glad that I did.
You did. All right. You are protected from the cudgel. Adrenal, what happens? You're about to take a wound.
As I expose my back to this guy, because I'm fighting off the guy with Alfred,
Yep.
he whacks me in the back. This mother effer.
Awesome. All right, Grom, you are going to be cudgeled as well.
I don't think I am.
All right, it's a piercing blow. If
What else is he failing?
But is it fail?
but if I hit, I don't know.
Yeah, you have to hit.
Yeah, you have to hit because
Yeah,
it's
you have
not
to
an
hit.
auto. Yeah.
Yep. You have to hit. If it was
So I
again,
just keep my shield up and
Yep.
it bounces off my shield.
yeah, it's aimed straight at your head, all right? And it normally would have been a devastating crack on your skull, but you raise your shield at the last minute and force the footpad back. And he is looking a little, shaken and ready to go. All right, Alfred, the highway robber engages you with his spear. He levels it low and brings it in swiftly into you. However, your parry rating is high, but he is strong. He misses by 1. And so he cannot even spend his 6. Damn. I should have spent a resolve. That was my mistake. All right. Otar, they are resolved to beat you to death and take the sword. So the footpad is going to start first. He's going to spend his last point of resolve. This will make him weary after this attack.
He shouldn't, because he has -3 dice.
Oh, yeah. Good call. Well, he did anyways. All right. It cancels out completely. And he gets a total of just a D12. Come on, Eye of Sauron. All right, no. All right. As the footpad comes in, and he kind of like it almost like his eyes scream. All right, this is going to be a payday for me. That's going to make the difference, and I'm finally going to be able to feed my family, and everyone's going to be proud of me. And this is going to be the moment I've been waiting for. And that's when Adrenal comes in and wards him away with a spear as he's coming around Otar's back and trying to stab him. The other 2 highway robbers, though, take the opportunity to viciously move in with their spears. They are going to get a bonus dice each because they are resolved. And okay. Ooh, it's a great success. I will make this a heavy blow. Otar, you take 8 points of damage as the highway robber comes in. You're able to deflect it, but only barely. And then the other highway robber comes in also with a spear. And he is going to attack you as well with a bonus dice because of his.
Don't forget you can do the knockback thing.
Right. Oh! It's a piercing blow and a great success.
Holy crap.
Otar, you're in trouble.
Yes.
It is
So 8. I'm
Yes.
trying to see if I can auto do the damage. But I
No,
see
it
anything.
doesn't.
No.
But a couple of things. As they were saying, when you take damage, you can once per round you can have the endurance loss caused by a successful attack, rounding fractions up, which will cause you to miss your next action. Unfortunately, the first one did 8 damage, and now the second one is going to do 8 damage. So regardless, you're taking either 16 damage or 12. I don't know.
2 seconds. I will. I will take the last one. I will take.
Okay, so you're going to take 8 and 8.
Yeah.
So your endurance should be down to 9. Right?
It was 25.
Right, and you just took 16 points of damage.
Yeah.
So 25 minus 16 is 9. Right? There you go. Cool. But the other spear penetrates and stabs you. So you also have to make a protection roll. And it's up there in the chat roll. It's DC 14. And you can just click on that in the chat window and that'll bring up your... you will be weary for this, but your armor is thick and your helm is gleaming, and it keeps the spear point at bay. By the way, getting piercing blow on a thing that endurances you to 0, that's a real dangerous thing because you can just take 2 wounds like immediately. All right. Well, the people have attacked. They are still technically engaged with you.
Okay.
You're just kind of like, scrambling to your position. Okay. Start of next round. You guys can change your stances. Everyone is engaged. Isengard, you could change your stance and get engaged with somebody if you wish.
Can I choose a stance when I'm?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I will go.
I'm really only useful at range.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Nobody else changes, so we're going to go to Grom and Alfred, who get aggressive and are trying to put down these robbers.
Go for it, Grom.
All right. The horn of Amonforod is blown. So the first thing you have to decide, Grom, is are you using this as a magical success?
Sure, let's see what happens.
All right. So spend a hope, and you should have that when you do your all roll. Don't forget, you get 2 bonus dice you get 2 bonus dice for the magical item, and I'm going to give you another bonus dice because their leader guy is dead, and they haven't taken anybody else out. So like an intimidate foe action here seems particularly effective. And in addition to that, when you roll it, will make it a magical success, which means you basically automatically will be a Gandalf. So go for it.
Okay.
All right, and you got a great success, which means. All adversaries with might 2 or less all suffer the penalty. So everybody is shaken, and they are all made weary for the entire round as the horn echoes forth. However, the footpads are craven, and when affected by the intimidate foe, they also lose a point of resolve. So the footpads all go to 0 resolve that aren't already there. The highwaymen are not as craven, I don't think, so they do not lose theirs. But they are reduced to 0 resolve. And you can see that they are not going to be fighting. They are actually going to be trying to flee and run away as their resolve is broken. Basically, the morale just got shattered by the rock. That being said, you did Baruch Kazad, so you also get to smash him with your axe. So,
yeah, so that I guess my concern there is this going to be like a shadow thing if they're trying to run, or
they are attacking you. I leave it up to you, Grom.
Like if I could, I would prefer to attack somebody that's on a Otar, but
all right, you know what, Grom? Because you show restraint and mercy, I'll say this: the footpad during your intimidate action flees. He's hurt and he's at 0 resolve. He definitely flees, and thus when your action comes to make an attack, you are unengaged. You can pick a different target. So you can go ahead and engage with this highway robber.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah. Because he doesn't look like he's running, right?
No. He's still got plenty of
with Baruch Kazad, I am favored on this attack.
All right, yeah.
And then I got a bonus dice for being an aggressive and a bonus dice for being enheartened.
Right. Everyone is getting bonus dice. Holy shit.
Yikes.
All right, so you actually have some interesting questions here. You probably can just kill him outright with double great blows. So if you can do that, you should.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can cause a piercing blow with your axe. But if you can just drop him to 0,
Yikes.
yeah, 18.
You actually can't up axes. Apparently, it wouldn't let me.
Oh, axes don't have pierce at all?
Yeah, it doesn't have it at all. I could do parry or.
That's true.
Nathan,
It says
they're
it's
not
in the rulebook.
piercing weapons.
Not allowed.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Spears
Where-
3, bows 2.
Where is that?
Whoa!
in the
I
book?
got deleted.
Oh, I think
I hit that guy so hard I deleted myself.
Yeah, I just had 2 people selected. There we go. Where is that rule?
It's in the combat section in the bonus action things that you can do or whatever.
Oh, here we go. Pierce. Oh, bows, spears, and swords. Yep, no
Yep.
axes. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But that's fine. I hit him for 18 damage.
No, yeah, you annihilated him. He's actively threatening Otar. Actually, he just stabbed Otar with a spear, and you come in and hack him down into the river, and it's a bloody mess. But you are technically now unengaged, Grom, so there is that. Okay, who else was in aggressive stance? Alfred.
Alfred pulls out his walking stick / staff / cudgel and charges screaming aggressively into this highway robber.
All right.
And I'm gonna spend a hope as well, because I do not want. I see Otar take some vicious blows.
He's
Yeah,
knocked
Otar
down in the
is-
water. 3
yeah.
guys over him.
I mean, Adraniel and Grom have are still kind of working to pick him up. He himself has kind of dropped back into a defensive stance. He's not really like knocked back on his ass. He's more like giving ground and falling back. But he does, there were several nasty blows aimed at him. All right, Alfred, come rushing in. And
I hit somebody.
crushed. Even with your weak strength, you might be able to make enough damage to get this guy down.
Oh, I think he has 1 hit point.
All right. 7. All right. He is down to 1. You begin waylaying him with your staff.
Wait, couldn't you have made that a pierce?
Not with a cudgel.
Not with a cudgel.
Oh, why do you? I thought you had a spear.
He did.
I
He's
tossed
using.
it.
He threw it.
Oh, that's
He
right.
threw it. He's just beating him with his
I guess
staff.
I could have
his walking
used
staff.
a dagger. I think daggers can pierce as if they're swords. Anyways,
Yes, they can,
Okay.
but they use your brawling, I think, skill. So, all right, let's go to our defensive players, Adraniel and Otar.
Otar doesn't get an action.
Right.
So that just leaves me.
Yep.
And Isengard, will you be able to kill the guy in Alfred?
It would require genuine divine intervention on his part not to die.
Okay. Then I will continue to protect Otar.
All right. Oh.
oh wow.
So it's an Eye of Sauron in combat, so it doesn't count. But even with a 0, you got a
Well,
great
he had-
success.
I'm favored. That's why I
Oh,
had
you're
a-
favored.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I missed that.
It's okay.
Never mind. All right. Otar, you are going to get -2 dice to the first attack that targets you. Okay, Isengard.
Yeah, we'll just take care of some business here.
Yep. All right. Alfred is sort of, oh, get him. The highway robber is kind of like gritting his teeth and looks like he's about to, shank him with a Oh!
Yikes.
It's a double piercing blow.
Yikes.
Okay. Which one do you take?
Nothing, because he's at 3, so he's done. The only time
He
that would matter
explodes.
is if you roll a bunch of great successes and it would kill him anyways, you can use it to parry if you're fighting multiple people. But other than that, yeah.
Mm.
All right, so everyone has gone. So Adraniel, the footpad that you are completely ignoring, is going to swing 1 time at you because it's literally attacking your back.
I thought they were going to flee.
They can't until next turn because of
Got
the
it.
way that the rules work. I just gave Grom that one exception because the guy was
Because magical success.
Yeah, because magical success, right? Exactly. So Adraniel is
It overly feared him in particular, made him just flee outright.
Yeah, just straight up ruptured his eardrums.
and with a failure,
Thank God.
with a little critical failure, Adraniel just like spins and kind of like goes like go home, boy. Smacks him on the butt with the butt of her spears, and he's like, ah! And he just starts running away. So, all right. This footpad is, however, tied up with Otar and the highway robber. This footpad sort of hesitates and is going to attack with -2 dice. It has no bonuses. Is literally just rolling a flat D12 and gets nothing. And he begins to sort of back off as well. And then last but not least, this highway robber, he's going to stab once with his spear. And it's a piercing blow.
Nice.
All right, Otar, you take 4 points of damage. Unless, of course, you want to be knocked back again and only take 2.
Yeah, I think I will do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you still have to make a protection roll.
Always good.
Crushed. All right. They are definitely starting to fall back. So the highway robber and the footpad are definitely leaving and fleeing. These are not enemies. They are enemies. They are not enemies of servants of the enemy. They are, evil men. So what do you guys want to do? Do you want to just let them run away or flee? They clearly seem to know who you are, or at least know who Otar is. So that is a problem. But, their chieftain is unconscious from his wound. But these guys are basically just going to run across the river and try to run away. So it's up to you guys.
It's worth us letting the lads run away and then going and seeing to the leader and possibly having a bit of a chat.
Is that okay with everybody?
Remember this. We best not see you again.
All right. This is what you get when you mess around with Yakuzas. All right. All right. So the highway robber and the footpad flees. Now, that was a good thing to do. No misdeeds. However, I'm giving you 2 things of eye awareness because of your good actions. They let them leave. Nothing is free here. So, all right. But you guys have fought off the encounter or fought off the ambush. The ruffian chief is, as you can see, unconscious. All right. With some ministration, he is, however, not like dead. He still has 1 wound. So with some ministrations, he can kind of come to.
Otar, are you wounded at all?
No, just beaten up a little bit.
Very weary.
Out of breath.
Otar is at 7 of 25. His load, by the way, is 18.
Yep.
Yeah, remember to put the weary button as well, so that it auto applies everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You should be weary.
I think looks like I'm in weary.
No,
Yeah, you are now.
I did it. You have to hit Alt in order to toggle it.
But my load was like.
Well, yeah, when it's red, it's telling you.
I have to do a thing.
This
Okay.
isn't like Pathfinder 2 that just like literally does everything for you automatically, and you don't actually have to know how to play the game. It's
It's weird. It will when I got miserable before, it auto miserable me, but it didn't auto weary.
interesting.
For
All
some
right.
reason.
Well, apparently, they gave up halfway through. That's respect. So, yeah, anyways, remember you do get 1 short rest per day. And of course, a long rest will also recover all of your stamina. So really being down endurance isn't that big of a deal because you guys are going to be able to, potentially rest and get that back. So it really only matters when you're having multiple things in a row. But the ruffian chief, assuming you eventually he kind of comes to, with a single point of endurance or whatever like that. And he's surrounded by your heroes and he's obviously a craven coward. And he, he kind of comes to, and he sees that his wound presumably has been, patched so he doesn't bleed out. And he's staring up at you. Bah, you got me, ship. Take it. I don't.
What finds you here? This is looking for people such as us.
Nothing. Just trying to make an honest living.
From whom?
Honest?
Living? I draw my sword.
Yo.
He's very terrified of the elf, obviously. He looks at Adraniel, and his eyes kind of fear with a bit of terror and malice, and says, "A man has to feed his family. A man has to earn some coin. I don't know if you've noticed, there's not exactly a lot of opportunities around here. Your people certainly haven't seen to that."
Hush now, or you'll bleed out. Tell me the name of your master if you wish to live.
He spits. "I have no master."
Is he lying or?
Yeah, probably.
Be like, mate, you literally shouted out, "They have the sword, get them." So presumably you knew who we were. I mean, you were being. So who told you, mate? Because you weren't where we were.
Fine. Yes. We were told if anyone came through here wielding a sword or carrying a sword that had the markings of a 7-pointed star like that one, that they would pay handsomely. A king's ransom. That's all.
Told by who? Whom and where?
A man in Tharbad. I didn't get his name. But tall. Tall like him.
Oh, shit.
Any distinctive features other than that? Beard, hair, eyes, scars?
Inquisitive.
Scarves?
No, just a tall man. Tallest man I've seen. Dark hair, sallow skin. A southerner.
What is your name?
I didn't ask his business. It's not my right. He asked me if I was going north. I said yes. He asked me what I was planning to do, and through the series of conversations, it obviously became apparent that we were here to do some highwayman shit.
Do you have another trade?
Yes, once I was a painter. But that didn't work out, and my father disapproved, and
It's tough out there.
it is tough out there, and there's not a lot of jobs out, fortunately.
AI being what it is.
Yeah, AI took over, getting crushed by Mid-Journey. It's just rough. My name is Hob. Hob. Of Tharbad. And no job. A gutter rat, a street rat, born and raised. Scrapping my way since I was a child.
I'll help him to his feet.
He gets himself up and winces painfully.
You aren't particularly good as a brigand.
I've had my share of successes, okay? He looks like he's proud for a moment, then kind of realizes what he's saying, and he's like, most people just give up the goods, when they're outnumbered and there's people with bows at them. He goes, I've heard of the prowess of elves and dwarves, but I never saw it for myself. Listen,
Mate, I was the one who fucking dropped you.
Meanwhile, it was the Hobbit that took him out with one shot.
Wait, who's
You didn't even see
speaking?
it coming.
Wait, who's speaking? I can't see you. What's going on?
I imagine Alfred is like holding Isengard back a little bit, like as if let me at him type thing.
Put him back on the floor. Let me look at his eyes.
So his purse is it full or is it like?
Are you looking in the man's purse, or were you
Looting?
looking at it when he was unconscious? Are you looting him?
Loot the bodies.
Yeah, loot the body.
No, it's more how
no.
successful have he been? Actually,
It's early in the season. No, he only has a handful of silver on him.
Okay.
Probably like a TP worth, a treasure point worth, not much more than that. He basically goes on to explain, rather begrudgingly and sort of shamefully, as sort of heroes interrogate him. He and his he gets a group of people together every year. People die, he replaces them. He doesn't feel any particular one way about them or not. He takes 50% of the loot. Most of the time, it's just merchant. It's dwarves, hobbits, men from Bree using the Sarn Ford, traveling to the Shire or back. And when they see people that don't look like they've properly paid for proper guard support or whatever, they just pop out and ambush them. This strange tall fellow from Tharbad, however, seemed particularly interested in paying handsomely. He said an entire sack of gold for this 7-pointed pommeled star. sword. And when they saw it, due to your failure, they were like, "Oh, we got to get that." So, that's more money than we'd make in a decade of doing this. Basically, that's like a king's ransom.
I was initially wanting to help usher him towards redemption, but as I'm thinking about the fact that he's probably killed people in this line of work, makes me a lot less endeared to his cause.
Yeah.
Alfred's thinking about.
Otto is a generous
Tharbad.
man and do not have any grudges against his man, to be honest. So what if you get some silver to not travel back to, what was it called? Thalabad?
Tharbad. He kind of looks at you like, quite honestly, he goes, "Where else would I go?"
I say we take his belongings, tie his feet together, and let him walk home.
He kind of looks at you and he goes, "So you would sentence me to death then? Fair play." Also, I would untie myself as soon as you...
Yeah, almost instantly. You don't tie my hands. And I was thinking, how about you journey back to Tharbad, let this tall, sallow fella know that you ambushed the party, but the sword fell into the water of the Brandywin, and it's strong waters. These things maybe could wash away, and basically see if you can basically like, do you want to tell the dude that we're dead? And I don't know if there's any mechanical stuff to that, but.
So how are you approaching this? Are you trying to like what is in it for him to do that? Like, are you just?
I mean, either we lose the sword in the river, or we lose your fucking head.
So
you are like a super crook. Like
right,
we
so
are being generous. Like,
so it's a threat. So it would be more, it would be an awe roll then.
Fair.
Yeah, because you're trying to just intimidate him and cow him into that. So
yeah. It's
that being said, if you do make an all roll against him, I will give you +2 bonus dice because this is about as a disadvantage of a situation as this poor chap could find himself in.
Yeah.
I don't trust him to do this thing. And I don't like how he's been so pragmatic about the bad things he does. It's like he's a sociopath.
Yeah, he is. I just cautious about just straight up executing the dude is my main thing.
Well, his distinctive features are ruthless and secretive, so that's what I've been trying to play. And so yes, he is kind of pragmatic and ruthless about his, the way he sees it. It's a job, and it's like, hey, soldiers go to war, they kill people. I'm a brigand, I ambush people. I don't want to kill people, but if I have to kill people, if they make me kill them. I have to.
I go to work as a dishwasher. I wash dishes.
Right. I don't want to break dishes, but sometimes dishes break. I don't know. All right. So Isengard. I think you got a success. All right. Well, Isengard got a success. So he is cowed. He is, and because again, this is for meta purposes, because you succeeded. I'm telling you, he is intimidated enough of you that he is going to do as you say. Now, is he going to turn over a new leaf? I doubt it. But because, again, from a meta perspective, you guys succeeded this skill roll. He was intimidated. And thus, he will be like, okay, I'll go tell the man,
and
you weren't.
I'll tell you what as well, mate. I'm a boundary East father, and if I hear of you doing work around Bree again, I can take a crab's eye out at 200 yards. I'll take your other one, no problem. So, he's thoroughly intimidated. You definitely got your success. And he's very much like beaten. Give me a criminal somewhere else.
He's a beaten man, and he's like, okay, I got it. I'm headed to Rohan. Got it. All right.
And also call your brother once in a while.
Go. So you let him go to report back to the man who hired to kill you. Cool.
Oh, but I was trying to get him to report back that nailed it, but lost the sword.
Oh, correct. Otherwise, I would have made it much higher. But the fact that that you were spotted at all is an indication of this. Unfortunately, doing good is often hard. So it is the case that is the way. All right. Well, you guys have defeated the ambush at the ford, And you guys do have the opportunity to take a short rest, but Otar, it doesn't really matter too much because you're just going to get all your stuff back because every night you can take a prolonged rest. So it shouldn't matter too much about your actual hurt. So I'm going to take us back to the overland map. All right, so
I will
now
say little time, Jake, because I have to be cautious of
Yes.
checking out the hotel.
So
and
what I'm going to do is I'm going to say we're going to do one more travel roll, and then we'll dip out so Gull can get out of his hotel. All right, is that good for everybody?
So I'm at full endurance again then.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. You should have a thing on your thing that says take. Everyone should have this. You can take a prolonged rest.
Yes, next to where the weary button is.
Yeah. And that should restore your stamina to full. So, you guys are still making good progress. It's summertime. You have all the supplies that you need. So every night you are capable of taking a prolonged rest. Now,
You don't get any hope back, do you?
what's that? No.
Do you get
can
hope?
No.
Can we do some
Fellowship?
fellowshipping? I guess.
Absolutely, because it's a rest phase, whether it's a short rest or a prolonged rest. Now, by the way, you're not always gonna be able to take prolonged rest, but because you're still basically on the edge of the Shire, you're basically doing a nice night of camping under the stars in early summertime. It's very nice and pleasant. When you start getting into more desolate lands, you can't necessarily count that a night is going to be a prolonged rest. Okay. Anyways. But yes, it's a fellowship phase, so you guys can definitely spend some fellowship, and you should because the session's about to come to an end. So,
I'll take one, please. Somebody
Right.
talk to Alfred.
somebody talk to Alfred and say nice things to him.
I'm definitely going to go to Otar and talk to him and make sure he's okay and check up on him. And I don't know much about mending wounds, but I'm worried about him after taking such a beating.
All right. Yeah, you guys don't need me for this. And remember, generally speaking, I'm allowing you guys to spend up to 2 points of fellowship per rest. So, you can spend 2 points of fellowship on whom.
Yeah, so we get 2
whomsoever
back,
you please.
Otar.
Okay.
Alfred busts out the pipeweed.
Yep. All right. So, guys, just tell me who's doing what. You just have to describe for me what the action is and who you're spending time with and how much you're spending.
Alfred will also go up to probably just with Isengard and share some pipeweed with him and remark about that battle in general.
Yeah, I think Osra goes to Idraniel and thank her for
Oh, nice.
keeping my back free.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was a little scary there for a hot minute. I thought it was a little scary for Draniel too.
I'll say that Otar, the king's sword would have been useful there, but you chose not to use it.
Hmm.
Do you know why?
I don't think I'm worthy of it yet.
Ooh, nice. So there's a great
Well-
line. Sorry, but there's a great line in the book when it's talking about how you awaken your magical items with your valor score. And it says, it is said that valor first needs strength and then a weapon. So it's like you got to gain your strength first and then you get the weapon, So sorry, please, Solpak, continue.
That sword's history, I can feel it radiating. It's bathed in fratricide. Don't make it more noble than it is. That's my advice for you.
Yeah, it's a little torn, Otar, because on one hand, that blade was forged during a time when, men were fighting other men, and other men had sworn themselves to the shadow. And so it's kind of an interesting question, right? Like these people were not servants of Sauron, but they were evil, right? And so it's almost like by extension, they are doing the shadow's will without actually even. It's almost, in one way, it's almost kind of worse, in some ways. Like they don't have to be evil, but they're choosing to be evil in a weird way. The orcs almost kind of don't have a choice. And so it kind of puts you in a weird spot, like, emotionally. All right. You guys have 5 points of fellowship left.
I'll spend one on that dialogue with Otar.
Okay.
Yeah, I
great.
was thinking also giving one to Idraniel.
Okay, great. So 3 points of fellowship left. 1 point of hope for Otar Moore, and 1 more point of Otar or for Draniel.
And I was going to go to Grom and just be excitable and chatting about the dope as hell horn.
I was like, did you hear that thing? It was impressive.
I think one of those guys absolutely shot himself. And
Yeah, I smelled him as he ran away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
Oh.
absolute pure banter.
Oh, I forgot. Sorry. That was for using the magical success of the horn.
Oh, shit.
Can we reduce the eye awareness in any way?
Yes and no, but mostly no.
Okay.
Yeah, during an adventure phase. There are things you can do. Like, for example, if you travel, once you're off the road and you're traveling through the middle of nowhere, like it'll come more slowly. If you like go full Frodo and like create a false identity and like leave under the shadow of night, like you could potentially start the adventure with a lower eye awareness, right? Like if people aren't, following you or things like that nature. If you take deliberate actions, absolutely, you could lower it.
The easiest way to lower it is to raise it to the threshold.
Yeah.
That also resets it
Reset.
back. That resets it back to its base value. That is also true. Yes, that's correct. Another way to think of it is like when that gets to the max, it's like I get to make a GM move, right? I get to make as hard of a move as I want. I might tick a clock off screen. I might make a hard move and have ogres appear. There aren't literally ogres in Tolkien, but you get the idea.
Ring wraiths.
Ring wraiths, or but it could also be things like, again, it could just be bad things, like an ally might betray you, right? It's this idea of the growing threat of the shadow. So think of it more or less as like an indictment about you guys, and it's actually just a natural pacing mechanism for the game to sort of act as sort of like a pressure cooker and to allow me to sort of stir up evil things while you.
The way to reduce shadow is to stop being an adventurer.
Right. That's right. That's right. Okay, great. Well, you have 1 point of fellowship left. You guys can save it, or assuming that you.
I think Alfred wanted the one, but
Did anybody give you one?
Nope.
What was Bilbo's bonus again, by the way?
Your
2
fellowship is now is 3 bonus instead of 2, and so you'll get 3 back. So you get. So I assume someone's going to give one to Alfred.
Oh yeah. At some point in the general banterous nature, he'll be chatting about Alfred. He'll probably chirp Alfred on the war cry a bit, but then congratulate him on a lovely hit with that bandit that we took down together.
It happened just the same, the exact same way.
Yeah, mate, but you've got to make it snappier. I know, mate.
No, I like to think that like Adraniel and Otar like are having a conversation and Grom, and then they come over to Alfred and they're like, okay, we have to have a talk. Look, I don't know how they did things back in the 20s. Okay. But we got to get you something else, because when you throw your spear and then you're beating people with a stick, it's not a good look for you. It's a little embarrassing, if I'm being honest. It's a little embarrassing. Adraniel's like, you'll notice that I don't throw, like if I throw my spear, I pull my sword out. You see how I have a secondary backup weapon that's actually useful? I'm not just beating people with a stick.
Maybe I'll hold on to it next time.
Alfred's like, but I'm so weak. All right, so Alfred, you are restored to maximum hope. All right.
Hooray.
So, all right. Well, it is 12:50, so that took a little longer than I thought. So we will end here at the Sarn Ford. In the middle of this, so we had a combat conflict in the middle of a journey conflict. That's okay. And next time we will pick it up. Now, again, when I made this adventure, I was kind of like, I really want to explore like the journey conflict and a bunch of council conflicts. Obviously, I knew there was a possibility for a combat conflict. But again, all of this came from, for those of you who don't know, this came randomly from the fact that Solpak said, oh, that should be the king's sword. So we started with that. And then this is also some bullshit that Goldacat and Jackal came up with during our backstory generation cards, and we sort of mixed all that together. So a lot of this information had nothing to do with me. This is some random bullshit that these two came up with during backstory creation.
Hey,
and
all this bullshit is not shy.
Yeah, and then Solpak having that really cool inspired idea to make the sword of the king. So I thought that was really cool. So we're kind of leaning into that a little bit, and I think that's a lot of fun. So that's where we're going to end it. Now, of course, remember, this was a session. You guys adventured. You adventured well. So you guys are going to get 3 skill points and 3 adventure points each. In addition, chat, VOD will be asking the patrons what you guys think about the fellowship score. Because they are on an adventure sent by Bilbo, their fellowship score is up to 9. They get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them automatic, or sorry, they get 1, 2 for the Men of Bree, another, or sorry, 1 for the Man of Bree, 3 from Bilbo. So they get 4 points back automatically. The other 5 points are how well you think each person represented their commitment to the fellowship. If you think all of them did a great job, then they will get it all back. I will make my vote. You will make your vote. The party will make their vote. And we'll pick it up next Sunday. The group will continue their journey down the Branduin, or will they strike out across the middle of Minhiriath? One is definitely an easier road to follow. The other one, though, is definitely going to leave them a lot more hard to follow or track. And then, of course, they will be arriving at Blackwater Cove, potentially with a lot of fatigue. We'll see. We'll see how it looks like when they get to Blackwater Cove. And I should also note that when they get to Blackwater Cove and they're finished, they still have to journey again to get where they're going. So it is going to really test these characters, and we're going to push them to the limits, and we'll see how far they would go. By the way, I asked the chat what they would have done with the brigands, and Mark T says, I definitely would have killed them, but I myself have murder hobo tendencies. So, and again, misdeeds are in the game for a reason. That's not to say that you can't do the thing. It just is to say that doing that thing does have a cost, which is a cost in shadow. All right.
Look, I'm going to get enough shadow from greed, so I don't need to be killing people.
Right. On one hand, Grom, actually doesn't have that much shadow, but then you realize, it's because he has a shadow scar. So unfortunately, so you can actually take a bunch of shadow if you're just willing to take scars. So that is going to do it for us for this episode. Thank you everybody for joining us, and thank you to my players for being awesome and amazing. But those combats went much better than fighting. Turns out fighting lightly armed peasants basically goes a lot better than fighting double massive hulking trolls. Shocking. But it is a little scary being outnumbered. So, but you guys played that defensively from a meta game perspective extremely well. So,
I'm extremely happy with my trait choice, my virtue choice, making me slightly better at range
favored in combat is like overpowered. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
I'm Lego lad.
Yeah, I mean, sure at the mark, like you said, you can hit a crab's eye at 200 paces or whatever. So, it's, but again, bows and spears are both very good at they don't really do that much damage, but they are very good and easy to pierce. And, to be clear too, when you do hit somebody with a bow, it's not like the highest injury. Like if Grom crits somebody with his axe, it's like TN 18 or 20 or something. It's crazy, So, arrow wounds, do crit often, but
can't
they're
be
not
shrugged off.
But but axes on the other hand, when they do hit, it hurts. All right. Well, so that's going to do it for us. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here, but we'll be back next time with more from Knights of Last Call. So we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Cheers. See you go.
All right, everybody.